Chilling, man. Thanks
We
for
are
having me.
live.
I'm sorry, you cut out. What'd you say? My fault. We're live.
We are live, man.
Let's
Woohoo!
get into this. Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, coach, peace and blessings. Man, I'm up to 314 subscribers. I want to thank everybody. I got five more today. I was
Let's
at 309 when
go.
we started, man.
Awesome, man.
What a
Congrats.
group. What a chat. I love this community, man. Hit squad. I
Likewise.
want your take because I
Sure.
seen you in the chat. What have you thought so far about free agency and everything you're seeing? Like with the Eagles getting Reddick and
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be honest, especially with the Reddick signing. I like that for the Eagles. I thought honestly the Jaguars were going to be a lot more aggressive than I initially had thought they would be. And it kind of seems that all signs are pointing them to taking Hutchinson. I know we can't really rule out Neil or maybe a player like Iquanu for them, but it just seems that right now they are really banking on free agency for them. So as a fan, I mean, I'm really liking what I'm seeing in terms of free agency for the league. For the Giants, I'm not too shocked with how free agency is going for us. I've said that I don't think the New York Giants are going to be making any big splash signings. I think we'll see little signings, kind of like the Foster signing today. Maybe we pick up one of the offensive linemen the Bills release, but I don't see any big signings. So,
all right,
what's
coach,
going
man.
on, Lou?
Glad
What's
you're
going on,
here.
fellas?
Slay, Lou from Nicky. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you too. Glad you're doing okay. Uh,
Subscribe to Classified 3F, subscribe to Hit Squad Productions, and subscribe to G Nation. Damn it.
that's right.
Appreciate that. I will be dropping everyone's links in the chat momentarily. So
Oh
definitely
man,
Where
subscribe.
else do you get free agency frenzy like this? No other content creators are doing this for you guys.
100% true, man. That's why you
yes.
subscribe to the Big Blue Crew, man. We got you guys covered always.
No matter what, sport, events, we do it all. We have fun doing it. And we love your reactions and your takes. So we don't shy away from anything.
There ain't no secrets here.
That's right. There ain't no secrets here. Oh, Doja, what's good, man? Thanks everybody for popping over, from being over there on Big Pat Sports Talk. Big Pat does his best, like the rest of us. We're always talking, we're always getting together, what we can do to improve our videos, what we can do to make your experiences better. You guys are taking a lot of time out of your day to sit here and watch an old dude and a couple of young bucks here, do their thing, talk sports, enjoy the day, laugh. We talk about family. We are a family first channel no matter what. That's the most important part of your life, in my opinion. And you guys just being here, it makes it absolutely fantastic because your comments are what keeps us going, gives us the topics to talk about,
Absolutely.
gives us on our rants. We get a little goofy sometimes, and you know what? It's great because you guys get goofy right along with us, and this is such a fun experience. I'm so grateful to be a part of anything like this, man.
You better believe it's you guys' comments and interaction with us to keep us going, because it ain't the damn win column that's keeping us going. That's for damn sure.
God damn
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
You. Yes, 314. I got 5 subscribers today, Pat.
Let's
I, I,
go.
I got, I'm getting up there, man. Mark, what's good, man?
Hey, what's up, Mark? What's up? This is awesome, man. I mean,
No,
I
no
agree
more
with you,
singing.
Joe.
All right, no, I won't sing any more disco unless I get, super chatted. Then I'm gonna have to.
Yo, hey, money make a
Lesnar,
man sing. I'll tell you that much.
thank you. You got to do what the fans request. I got a feeling I'm gonna be singing one song an awful lot, but that's all right.
Hey,
Uh,
man, I agree.
That's right. Lou gives me a hard time because I don't put the words in order. But you know what? What is it that they call that when you're rapping and or just paraphrasing? Just singing along
Oh,
and
you're
don't.
lip singing?
Yeah, lip syncing. There we go. Yeah, something like that. I forget what the hell's going on.
You mean
Uh,
Yeah,
improvising?
that too.
with that too. Yeah, improvising.
Yeah.
Uh,
I like to
t-
equate our show to the sports equivalent of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I'm trying to
I like that.
pronounce this name, and I'm having a hell of a time, gentlemen.
De-
Dila?
Delia or
Dila?
Daila, but I'm not too
D
sure.
Illa. D Illa.
Diella. Thank you.
Deilla,
Thank you, Lou.
what's
Diella.
going
I'm so
on?
sorry I messed that up. Please forgive me.
What's
Oh,
going on,
I
Deilla?
can't pronounce my name half the friggin' time.
Jesus.
Yeah, tell me about it. At least somebody got it right. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man,
I mean, it might be De Illa. I could be wrong as well, but
we just gonna call you D. Pause.
I'm gonna call you
No.
Illa.
Yeah.
What up,
I
Illa?
like that. I like that.
How
What's
about
up,
New
Illa?
York Giants fan? Damn it, we're all family, one way or another.
100%, man.
That's right.
We all family because we all descended from Noah after the flood.
Right.
People forget that part.
So teams
Yeah.
that need a quarterback right now on the NFL Network: the Colts, the Panthers, the Saints, the Seahawks, and they got the Steelers up here. But we all know that Mitch Trubisky signed a 2-year deal with the Steelers.
Well, the Panthers are expected to meet with Deshaun Watson tomorrow as well as the Saints.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all tomorrow. That's
Yep.
all right.
Yeah, but
Thank
as
you.
well as some other teams, and just because Trubisky got signed doesn't mean that the Steelers won't go after Pickett or Malik Willis in the draft. But I don't see anybody trading up to get these guys early.
I agree with you there.
I see them being drafted wherever they fall to. Like I said, we've all been harping on this for a while that none of these quarterbacks in this class wow us. And I think DJ is better than every quarterback coming out of this class.
Yeah, I can't
People
argue
can
that.
hate me for that, and people can say whatever they want in the chat, but these guys that are coming out of this class are going to have to sit for a year, which ideally is what should have happened to DJ.
Yes.
But
Yep.
he was thrown to the wolves with a shitty offensive line, and Eli was shitted on. And, that's what happens when you shit on a good head coach and you curse your franchise for a decade after they did what they did to Coughlin. So
It's very true. Very true.
But I see this new administration coming in and making some positive changes. I see the chemistry being put together. I see the business moves being done correctly. I really see us making a push this year. If we don't go 8-9, I don't see us going less than that. If we don't go 8-9, 9-8, I'm back on my bullshit 11-6. Because with the way we just signed receivers, we restructured Shepard. We brought CJ Board back. We brought Sills back. Galladay's still here. We just signed Robert Foster. We're not drafting a receiver early. We picked up one lineman in the free agency. We don't have the money to get any more. So I would expect us to draft O-line heavy. And my ideal draft class for offensive linemen would be Aquanu at 5. Trade back the number 7 pick. Acquire more capital. Get Zion Johnson, the best guard in the draft. Okay? And then if you can finagle Alec Lindstrom in the 3rd round or the 4th, which is the second best center in this draft class that played alongside Zion Johnson his whole collegiate career, so they already have chemistry. In doing so, you would solidify the center, the right guard, and the right tackle position all in one draft. Then all you would have to do is plug and play a left guard in alongside of Andrew Thomas.
I'll tell you what, man, that would be ideal as fuck. Excuse my language, Joel, but I mean, you're absolutely right, Lou. And I think that's something that could actually happen. And I was saying this earlier, where it just seems that with all the moves the Jags have been making, it doesn't seem like they're going to go offensive tackle. It could be possible, but I if they go Hutchinson as a Giants fan, I'm excited because that just means one of those tackles is going to fall to 5.
Well, that transects us right into this question that Mark wants to know. Who's the surprise signing that you guys have seen so far?
Christian Kirk for me. Christian Kirk
Robert
is going
Foster.
to the Jaguars. Yeah. I mean, that I'm a little shocked with too. I didn't see us picking up a wide receiver. But if we're talking about the whole league, definitely Christian Kirk. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's a talented player.
Trubisky is the biggest shocker to me, to the Steelers.
That's definitely my number 2. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm glad he's gone. I didn't want him here. Just like
me neither.
Deila.
And I get that. I wonder how much
D.
he's gonna make
There
too.
we go.
There's been rumors it's around 15 million, and if that's the
T-Mac.
case, thank God we didn't get him.
Taj.
Um, but yeah, for me, Kirk, man. I mean, Kirk is making a lot of freaking
No.
money. For
Yeah,
I mean,
that dude been stealing from the league his whole career, bro.
There you go,
yeah.
Lou.
Oh, I was
You
talking
like
about
that?
Chris. I was talking about Christian Kirk, but yeah, Kirk Cousins. Yeah, that boy
What?
a
Here I
thief,
go
dog.
to what?
Yes.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
Christian Kirk got damn
A
near 20
bag.
million a year.
A
I mean,
bag.
sheesh, dog. It made Kenny Galladay's contract look pretty decent for us. I'm not gonna lie.
Why'd
Oh,
you say
man.
there you go, Lou? What?
G-Man, thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome aboard to the Big Blue Crew.
Hey,
New
hit that subscribe
subscriber.
button.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Thank. Oh, I just got a subscriber too. Thank you so much, man. I
Yes.
appreciate you. And again, I'm gonna drop the links one more time so you guys can see it. Subscribe to the channels below. I'm also gonna put Big Pat's channel in there as well, man.
What were you
Subscribe to the Big
saying,
Blue Crew.
Joel? That you said there you go, Lou?
Oh, somebody said that you weren't lying. DJ, here it is, Big Blue Doja. You ain't never lied, Lou. DJ is better than all the quarterbacks coming out this year.
Thank you, Doja. Somebody got some sense in this chat.
Yep.
Right.
No, it's true, man. I mean, I just don't see a QB in this draft that will give you
Oh,
a better option than what Daniel Jones is.
Yeah, facts.
Taj brings up a good point here. Can you guys imagine what Devontae Adams is going to get on the if Kirk got that bag?
Jesus.
What could you see Devontae Adams getting 30 mil?
That's what he wants.
I mean,
That's
seriously, why would you deny him? He's been the only guy over there in Green Bay for the longest. If you take him away, Aaron Rodgers' numbers dwindle down significantly. So at the end of the day, I mean, why would you not? You know what I mean?
yeah, I get it. 100%. I mean, I honestly, man, if there's gonna be a player over there that they should have paid, it should have been Devontae Adams. In my honest opinion.
I can agree with that. I mean, look at what that guy's done. He does nothing but stay healthy and make plays. That's what the guy does.
And not for nothing, I get that, they have some other wide receivers over there, but that's really their only target at the wide receiver position. I know they got Scantley, but that he's not on the same level as a Devontae Adams. People know
Right.
that Rodgers is going to target Devontae Adams, and they still can't stop that man. So I give that boy a lot of credit, and he deserves a bag. I just don't know if it'll be with Green Bay because he told him he's not playing under that tag that
Right.
they gave him.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's gonna be shocking to see how they work around that one.
Now give Kenny Galladay to the Packers and give me Devontae Adams and let us give them a second round pick, and I'll take that all day.
Hey, I don't think anybody would complain about that, to be honest with you.
I give you Kenny Galladay and the second round pick. You give me Devontae Adams.
Oh my God! You want to pay that man $30 million a year, though?
Hey, listen, I know he's gonna produce, unlike Galladay, year one. Year fucking one. I know he's gonna produce.
That's
know what?
true.
Galladay's getting how much? 72 mil for 3 years, and he damn wet the bed. Devontae Adams comes in here with DJ, Kadarius, Tony, Sterling, Shepard. Yes, he is going to produce year one, 100%.
Yeah, and you talk about a talent that would elevate your quarterback's play. That would definitely be Devontae Adams. And it's going to be very interesting to see what Green Bay does, man.
I mean, I don't see that happening, but I mean, God, if it did, holy crap.
Man, I'd be happy.
That changes the trajectory of this team immediately.
Yeah.
Then all you would have to do is draft O-line and one edge rusher, and you're set.
Mm-hmm. I mean, could you imagine how this offense would look with him in the system? Sheesh.
Because then you can't put 8 in the box and try to stuff the run. Because you have to be aware of Kadarius, Tony, Sterling, Shepard, and Devontae Adams. So you can't load the box and try to stop Saquon. So either way, we'll kill you.
Yeah.
Shit.
I
But what
mean,
does
that's
that?
just
I mean,
wishful thinking. I
Rogers.
doubt it happens though, but
Rogers signed that contract, but he said he wanted Adams there too. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
It-
they're have
what
to
he
work something
wants
out.
and what his contract says are two different things. If that shit ain't stipulated in his contract, you know,
Right.
Shit.
Oof.
I appreciate
God.
everyone in the chat, man. Thank you.
Yes. 19 watching. Hit that like, subscribe, ring that bell, get notified. Having a good day today. Having a lot of fun today. Crazy D, what's good, man? Glad you could make it. Some interesting moves today. Cressley. Call
man,
you
thank you
Sully.
guys.
All
Thank you
right.
guys for coming over and switching over to Classified 3F with Joe. Like I told you guys in the earlier stream, we are the Big Blue Crew, G Nation Inside Sports, Big Pet Sports Talk, Classified 3F with Joe. His squad productions as well. Zion Zenith,
Oh,
Super Taj. Uh, Subscribe to all of these guys. We all constantly on each other's channel and working together, alternating between each other's channel. So if you want to be kept abreast as to what's going on,
Yes,
it would
sir.
behoove you to subscribe to all of us, so you don't miss one Big Blue Crew event.
Yo.
Yes, sir.
yeah. Oh,
And what's up,
Ugba got a
Tosh?
damn bag of
And
money
we,
too.
hey yo, and we thought Kenny Galladay was bad,
I knew that'd
and
get
we thought
Todd
Kenny
shots.
Galladay was bad.
Ooh, you're fine, D Mac.
Hey yo, I don't know, like whatever Trent Baalke and them in Jacksonville are doing, man. Like, man, I don't know. 84 million for Christian Kirk.
I, that's a, I don't understand that one.
Listen, 35 million for Kirk Cousins. I mean, shit, I don't understand that one. This
Right.
man, this man been
I
robbing the
mean,
league blind since he got here, and the
God, look,
only good thing he's done was come up with a catchphrase for one season. You like that? That's it.
yeah.
That's
And no
it.
one like it either.
Boy, I hope so, Jaden. I think all of us would be happy if Galladay had 10 TDs next year.
Shit, let's get him into the end
Nah,
zone first. Like,
That,
that's what
damn.
yeah.
he owes me 10
Man, the
million.
dude
I
ain't
mean,
got no
10
speed,
10
man. He can't
touchdowns. I
cause
mean.
any separation and get open.
Man, I mean, could you imagine
And
if
though I know he's a contested catcher, contested ball catcher, he's a 50-50 ball catcher. I know that's what we brought him here for. But I mean, damn, you got to create some type of separation. If you ain't fast, you got to be a crisp route runner. Something.
God, could you imagine what Cooper Cup would get right now if he was on?
Man,
Jesus.
Cooper
Shit.
Cup.
Oh
Could
my
you
I
imagine
tell
God.
what
you what,
Debo Samuel could get?
Odell Beckham is signed for how long to the Rams?
He's a free
He's a
agent
free
right
agent
now.
this year. Yep.
Could you imagine what Cooper Cup and Debo Samuel could get?
Jesus, man.
Yes, we are, Sully. We are spectators.
And I don't have a problem with that either, Sully. I'm
Me
gonna be
either.
honest.
I like it. I like it, Hit Squad, because we're not reaching.
Yep. Because I'm not gonna lie. Again, I'm glad that Jacksonville is doing their thing, but they are, in my honest opinion, overpaying for some of these players, man.
It's going to be a Nate Solder 2.0. It's got that potential
What?
to be a bust in a year or two. When you start
What?
giving up that kind of money at free agency, because you pay A money for B talent in free agency.
Oh,
Yeah.
And these
Christian
guys are
Kirk.
let go for a reason, man. I mean,
Yeah, let go for a
you know,
reason.
think of the teams that tried to work free agency and they just really couldn't do it. The Eagles with that dream team, they went out and spent
Mm-hmm.
all that money. The only one you could really say that spent money and had success was Belichick last year. They spent what, 160 million, 200 million in free agency, but they
Yep.
still had a
And it
winning
worked out.
record.
Yeah.
But that's
All,
the only team I could think of that went heavy in free agency and beat the odds.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Because they took a lot of splashes last year, and that was kind of not what usually Bill Belichick does. But when you look at the players that they brought in, they all made immediate impacts. I mean, Hunter Henry, Nelson Aguilar. I know they brought in Johnu Smith. I mean, on top of that, Matthew Judon. So it's like they definitely got their money's worth. Um, I felt like they kind of had to at least make a couple splashes last year. But
Right.
I agree with you, Joel. I mean, not a lot of teams can really do that. The Jags are going to be hoping that these players can come in here and just be productive for their contract. And I think some of them. Well, I think the offensive guard they picked up was pretty good, but again, that Kirk contract, man,
Yes.
$84 million.
Yes.
Jesus, man.
Jesus.
Yes.
I mean, I will say this much though. Congrats to former New York Giant BJ Hill for securing the bag with the Bengals.
Yes.
Yeah, he
3
did.
years.
30
Shout out
mil.
to BJ Hill.
Yeah, very much worth it, man. I wanted him to be a Giant, but you know how things go. But 3 years, 30 million, 15 million in 1 year.
Right.
That's big, man. Congrats, BJ.
Yes. And then D wants to know, what do you guys think of Cam Sims as a low budget wide receiver signing? Play for Washington.
Uh, I'd
I
rather look in the draft, to be honest. Maybe
Me
later.
too. I think we have enough wide receivers right now. If we get one, maybe two in the draft, depends on who's there, who falls. No, he's not bad at all. I'll agree with King Tone. He's not bad, and he's a big body. But
I will say this, and I can't stress this enough. I said it earlier on the other stream. If you look in our division, the Dallas Cowboys defensive front has got significantly better.
Very
The
true.
Philadelphia Eagles defensive
got
front
Michael
with just the
Parsons.
free agency signings that they've done today have got
Welcome back,
significantly
Birdie.
better, and they still have 3 first-round picks. So priority number one, bar what everybody feels, has got to be O-line. Because if we don't fix this O-line and both of their defense got significantly more dangerous, we're screwed. So
100%.
while everybody wants the top edge rusher and the top cornerback and the top wide receiver, all the shiny new toys, we need a Kemekonu, Zion Johnson, and Alec Lindstrom. That needs to be priority number fucking one.
Mumford.
Zion Johnson is the best guard.
Yeah,
Kemekonu is the
Zion
best tackle. Alec Lindstrom is the second best center, but the upside is he played along Zion Johnson his whole college career. So they already have chemistry. So if you can somehow get Alex Lindstrom at center, Zion Johnson at guard, and the Kemekonu at right tackle, 4/5 of your offensive line are solidified for the next 8 to 10 years. Then all you need to do is address the left guard position and backups, and your line is set.
I agree.
Then you go out there and get a freaking Christian Harris or something, a Chad Muma, a Leo Chanel in the 3rd round, something like that. Go ahead, Joe.
I can agree with you on that, Lou.
Spectrum.
But yeah, well, that is the day. I even reset the router too before I went live.
Hey, I've been having issues too, man. Don't worry.
Okay, so it's not just me. Yay.
Yeah, well, we both have Spectrum, but yeah, continue, man.
Well, okay. What if I don't want to word this right because I don't want people to come after me. But what if there's a question on one of those guys that you named outside of Iquanu? What if the scouting department has a question on Zion Johnson and we don't get him? Even though you feel he's the best available guy in the draft. Look, I'm not trying to be negative, Nancy. I'm just trying to bring up
the scouts. All the scouts agree that he's the best guard in the draft. It's not my opinion.
All right. You know where I was going though.
Yeah. But see, this is my thing.
You see,
if they don't think he's the best guard in the draft, they gotta know he's better than fucking Pert or Lemieux. So it would still be more logical to get him than run with the guys you got, especially considering that the defense we went against last year is not as good as the defense we're going against this year. And we got
that's not me. Oh, you're breaking up, Lou.
You breaking up crazy.
We're catching every other syllable. Poor guy. Modern technology, isn't it a wonderful thing?
Damn, sounded like a transformer.
Better get somebody.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm about to fix this here.
No problem. Okay, that was clear.
Yes, that was good. We missed all of that, though. You want to repeat it?
Sorry about that, Lou. Well, while we wait for
Well,
Lou,
would you take Zion at 7 then if he's the best guard, or is that reaching?
I think that might be reaching. I got to be honest. If he falls to the later half of the first, maybe like I'm saying, like before the second round comes, so maybe like 30, maybe 29. Could the Giants trade up from the second round to get him because they got the 36 pick?
Right.
I wouldn't actually be opposed to that, to be honest with you.
Oh,
But
Packers.
I don't know if 7 is ideal to take him there.
Packers re-signing linebacker Devondre Campbell to 5-year, $50 million contract.
That's a big
Nice.
deal for them, man.
Nice.
I mean, they kind of had to. They lost Zadarius Smith, so it's going to be very
Darius
interesting
Smith.
to see how they replace him and what other
All right,
signings,
can you
man.
guys hear me now?
A
Yes,
lot
got
better.
you
Yeah.
great, but yes.
All right. So what I said was, even if they don't agree that he's the best guard in the class, they still have to get somebody because they have to agree that he's better than Pert and Lemieux. So, and Will
Yeah,
Hernandez is gone. So even if it's not Zion to address the position, whether it's Zion Johnson or not, is my point. They need to make sure that they get some competent linemen in here that can be
yeah.
solid players for the next 7 to 10 years.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. They have to be, in my honest opinion, they have to be aggressive with that offensive lineman. And we only got so
Because,
many picks.
well, see,
But
my point is because Dallas's defense is significantly better than it was
yeah,
last year,
it
and
is.
so is the Eagles.
Mhm.
So if we got crushed last year with our offensive line, you can't expect us to do better against better defenses with the same, if not less, line than we had. So we have to build the O line. Like, I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Lou. Um,
Oof.
and that's what worries me is that, I don't want them to do what we did last year and not really take that offensive line seriously. I mean, if you really want to see what DJ can do, if you really want to see what Saquon can do, you really had to attack this offensive line. And even if you don't think that Daniel Jones isn't the quarterback going forward, whatever quarterback you do decide to bring in, you have to make sure that he can stand upright. This offensive line is terrible outside of Andrew Thomas, even with Nick Gates. I love Nick Gates, but there's better talent than Nick Gates out there that we can pick up and select that would be honestly better for us, probably in the long run. Do I think they address that in the draft? 100%. But I would not be shocked if they kind of dipped into the draft and dipped into free agency at the same time. Um, do you think you could highlight Illa's comment about Deontay Foreman? If that's who I think that is, I believe he was with the Titans.
The Titans.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. They may look to keep him because when Henry came out, I mean, he was productive.
Yes.
He was a lot more than they thought, and I know that Derrick Henry really doesn't deal with injuries that much. He dealt with the injury last year, but in my honest opinion, I think it would be very smart for them to re-sign him. If he does get hurt, you got someone reliable, someone that knows the system. But even if he's not hurt, that's a solid 1-2 punch there for the Titans. So they may look to keep him.
And
Now, if they don't, I don't know.
I like Kevin Sullivan's comment here too because he's right. This guy's very underrated.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
Seahawks recent.
Mac,
Oh, the
what's
Seahawks.
good?
my brother.
What's going on, man? How y'all doing today?
What's going on, man?
Great. The Seahawks are re-signing tight end Will Disley to a 2-year, $24 million deal.
Took him off the market.
Yep.
Took him
Wow.
right off the market.
Wow.
Yep.
Mac, what is your thoughts on free agency so far today? Somebody had asked earlier what was our
Could you
favorite
imagine what
signing
Evan
from
Ingram
today.
gonna get?
Well, I haven't really been a chance to take a good look at him. I just got home from work, so I don't really know too
Hey,
much
I
about what's
I,
going
I
on yet.
understand.
Be honest, had to
Titans,
kind of
yeah.
look in there and see. I saw Trubisky going to Pittsburgh. I did notice that earlier.
Taylor
Yeah,
Lewan, that's right.
So I still want to figure out what they're going to do about bringing somebody in here to help push Daniel Jones. Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
Had
fine.
I was yeah. So we need to figure out something about bringing somebody in here to push Daniel Jones because I feel like you can't just have him go out there and have the job just handed to him. I feel like he has to really go out there and earn it this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. And honestly, I just want to get to Eric Davis's comment. I do understand what you're saying that these offensive linemen are going to struggle. I think with Andrew Thomas, for me, and I know not everyone may agree with me with what I'm about to say, and that's completely fine. I mean, Colombo tried changing his technique. I mean, his former offensive line coach at Georgia came out and said he wasn't even doing the same things that he was doing in college, which he excelled in. He didn't even recognize any of the techniques that he was doing. And then Joe Judge comes in and, has him practicing his craft and changing a couple things with him, and we saw slight improvement. Then you bring in Guglielmo, who's another offensive line coach. So I mean, with Andrew Thomas, where I'm getting at is that I mean, if you really think about it, he had 3 different offensive line coaches in a span of 2 years. And again, at the same time, I mean, are these offensive linemen going to struggle as rookies? I think so. But I think at the right tackle position, if you could get in a Quanu or a Cross, I think you're cooking there. And I think that if you can get an offensive guard in the second round, they might have some struggles, but I think it would be a lot better than anything we have on this roster currently outside of Andrew Thomas. Um, but again, they will struggle. It's going to happen. I think there will be more struggles if you're taking a fourth, fifth round talent. But if you're getting a Zion Johnson, if you're getting an Aquanu or a Cross, they're going to have some struggles. But I don't think it'll be as bad as what we saw with Thomas. If this Bobby Johnson guy is who Bills fans and some Giants fans are making him out to be, again, this is going to take some time to fix this offensive line, but I don't think it'll be as bad as we're used to seeing this O line looking.
Right.
Sorry, I just went on a rant there. But.
No, you're fine, man. I think they hit home for all of us. I think you're absolutely right on that fact. And then Dee's got another good question here. She goes, and I agree with this. It's Daniel's last chance. What more motivation does this kid need? You're not picking up
He's
his
always
5th-year
motivated,
contract.
man.
You know that it's your last year. The coach basically has said, we screwed you, but this is your shot, your time to shine. I mean, if I was in Daniel's shoes right now, I mean, I'd be doing everything I could to make sure that I was, head and shoulders above anybody they could get in the draft or in free agency. Or, I mean, how much more motivation, like she says, that you need?
Yeah.
I mean, the man's already self-motivated. The man is already unbelievably self-motivated on everything.
But that's the
Right.
my whole point with that is like that's why I say you need to bring somebody in. That's why I was on board with those rumors about Trubisky, but clearly that's going to pasture
Hell no,
now. But at the same time, I just need somebody that can come in and be and the job's not just going. He's going to look at it where the job's not just handed to him. His rookie year, he came in. Eli was still here. I think he got the job a little too soon in his rookie season. Personally, that's my opinion. He got the job a little.
A lot
too
of us
soon.
agree with that. Yeah.
But then the past 2 seasons, he's just walked in the door and the job's been his. No competition. You bringing in like Mike Glennon last year. That wasn't competition. That was no threat to Daniel Jones' job. The year before that, he also once again. Yeah, Colt McCoy. That was also no threat to Daniel Jones' job. So you got to get somebody in here to have him looking over his shoulder a little bit. Somebody that can push him. Somebody that's at least of equal like skill set to him. Like I said. Like I keep using Trubisky as an example. I mean, for what it's truly worth, Trubisky has accomplished more as a starting quarterback in this league than Daniel Jones has for us in 3 years. These last 3 years. I mean, it's just facts. I'm not necessarily saying he's better. I'm just saying he has accomplished more as a starter than Daniel Jones has. He would have been a type of guy, type of name that can come in and would have been able to push Jones. And the fact that he already knew this offense would have even gave him that leg up on Daniel Jones and would have made Jones have to work even that much harder because Trubisky would have been coming in here already knowing the system, basically. So Daniel Jones would have had to work that much harder to beat a guy like that out, and that would have showed me the true character of Daniel Jones. I mean, at the same time, there's still a couple other guys out there that could also still come in and push Jones, and that's what the kid. That's the motivation he needs. He needs to be pushed. He needs to legitimately have to know what it's like to have to compete for his position and earn it, not just have it given to him.
So then you would rather spend $6-8 million on a quarterback to push DJ, then maybe get a halfway decent guard,
a lineman.
center. You're right.
Uh,
Because that's what it's going to take, man. And that's going to be the shot. I mean, that's all we have.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. With Trubisky, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was one of the people that wanted Trubisky over here for some of the reasons that Mac listed. But for me, man, I just think that does DJ need that extra push? I kind of think he already has it right now. I think
He
he's
already
reading
has
the
it.
room that, if he gets injured, if he has a slow start to the season, if, he's throwing a ton of interceptions and maybe the touchdown ratio isn't there, he's going to get replaced next year. So that may be motivation in itself. But I mean, I do think that we do need a QB that can at least push him. I don't think Davis Webb would push him. I think honestly, because I know Davis Webb came out and said that he wants to be a coach one day. I could
Right.
see it being in some sense a mentor, maybe someone that they keep on the practice squad. I think that at this point where we're at, I'd like to see them maybe pick up a Tyrod Taylor. I think you can get him for cheap. If they don't, I'm not going to be upset at all. Um, at that point, I wouldn't be shocked if they picked up a later round QB. To be very honest with you, but I also see what you're saying too, Joel and Taj. I mean, that money that you would pay a backup quarterback, I mean, could you use that towards an offensive guard? Could you use that maybe towards a corner or a linebacker for depth? I mean, there's a lot of different
Mhm.
ways you could use that money, but
Yes.
I don't. I think that with Trubisky, it came out that he was deciding between the Steelers and the Giants. The Giants don't have the money to match what the
I mean,
Steelers probably were
mhm.
offering him, and if we're being honest, the Steelers are probably a better fit for him, anyways. Tomlin's a good coach. They are, if you really think about it, a win now team in a division where outside of Burrow and Lamar. Um, I mean, it's kind of up for grabs at this point, and I think that he's going into a better situation. And again, there was rumors that the money hasn't come out yet for the numbers, but there's rumors that he could be making up to 13 or 15 million with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
And if
Told
that's the
you.
case, I do
Told
not
you.
want him over here, and I'm
Told
glad that
you.
they didn't make that signing. But I'm
I
not.
told you.
I understand why bringing him in made a lot of sense because it did. For the system. Um, he's still a former first round pick. He's also a player that,
And
granted, he wasn't entirely terrible in Chicago. I think a lot of people realized how bad of a coach Matt Nagy was. I know that, again, we could talk about Trubisky and the backup QB position for hours, but
right.
ultimately, I think I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go on a limb. I think you get this kid in O line. I think we're going to see a better DJ than we have in the last 2 seasons. I mean,
Yeah.
will he? For us to even say, not
That's
to
a
cut you off, Joe, but um, to be honest with you, if he can have a similar season to his rookie season, which I mean, a lot of quarterbacks in this league are having that kind of year on a weekend, on a year-end basis. But if he can
right.
have a season like that, I have no problems with him picking up that fifth-year option, which honestly might be in the Giants' best interest,
Well,
even if they pick up a QB next year.
they have to
It's
pick up his
yeah.
5th-year option by May of this year.
Well,
I
let me
may.
Yep.
address something real quick that I seen up in the chat. Somebody put a comment and they were talking about wow, it put that unwanted pressure on Daniel Jones. This is the NFL. He is a quarterback in the NFL. You got to be able to handle the heat. You got to be able to handle some pressure. And if you can't handle the pressure of a guy on your own team at practice that you just need to go out and beat out, then you're not the guy I want at quarterback anyway, because you're not mentally tough enough to do this job. So that's why I would put that pressure on him, because he hasn't had that kind of pressure put on him, and he needs to upgrade. That's just the point blank and the period. It's because we can say everything about the offensive line has been terrible. It has been. I'm not blind. I know the offensive line has been terrible, but this kid has also. It's been also plenty of times where the offensive line is not great, but they've done their job some of the times, and Daniel Jones has just completely dropped the ball. So he's got to show me something, and it can't just be handed to him. You can't just hand the keys over to him like, here you go, buddy, because these last 3 years have been so amazing. We're just going to keep handing the keys to you. No, you got to earn it this year. He need to bring somebody in here and make him earn it this year. That's all I'm saying. And if he can't handle that pressure, then he don't need to be the quarterback anyway.
I mean, I see what you're
I think he
saying
can
there,
handle
Mac.
the pressure. I mean, I understand, but I think he can handle the pressure though because I think he's like to me, I think he's mentally like I don't think he's really mentally like soft or anything.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I think he could handle the pressure of it. I mean, God plays in New York, but I get what you're saying, Mac. I mean, he has to earn that position because let's be real. What other quarterback was really a threat to him in his tenure here outside of Eli Manning? I mean, let's be honest. So even if they were to bring in a player like Tyrod Taylor, that's a person that could push him for
Yeah.
starting, but that's not a long term answer.
I'd be okay
So
with something like that too. I mean, somebody that can just push him, like make him have to step it up and understand that this is not going to just be easy this season. You're not going to bring in a Mike Glennon. You know what I mean? That I know that it doesn't matter. I can just go out there blindfolded and I'm gonna still beat out Mike Glennon. Just gotta somebody to make this kid understand what it takes to be a true starting franchise quarterback in this league. Somebody to make him step it up. I know the kid has a skill set. I'm just not. I'm at this point, honestly, I'm just not sure if this is going to be the place that he's going to ever shine. I think the kid might need a change of scenery. So I know we got to ride out with him this year, but I just honestly think if he's going to succeed in this league, it's just probably not going to be here in New York. That's my real honest opinion about Daniel Jones.
I could understand it if we had more resources. If we had more, I could understand it a lot more. But with the limited stuff that we have right now and with the needs we have, and we see that the Giants are not going to overspend on anybody. I just I don't. I'm not saying I don't want him to get pushed. I'm not saying I don't think it wouldn't be good for him. I it's
nah,
Yeah,
just
I understand both. I understand where y'all coming from. I totally get it, but it's just this is year 4 for this dude,
I
man,
know. I
and
know.
you just gotta be able to step it up, man.
yeah, you're absolutely right. And Illa, to be honest with you, no, I don't think that even if Tyrod came and we won 9 games, he's the future QB. That's in my honest
Yeah, I
opinion.
mean, hey, even Tyrod Taylor gets hurt a lot too.
It
Yeah, and a lot of times the injuries ain't really on him. You look what
man,
happened with
Yeah,
the Chargers. I mean, freak incidents, but nah,
I, I
he's not your future QB.
I'll
That's a
sit
bridge
right here and
QB.
tell you what's going to happen. Mark my words. Shout out to the 30 people watching, man. I appreciate everybody being
Thank
here.
you, thank you.
Love the chat. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, please. Get notified. Mac the Giants fan, Hit Squad, Taj, Big Pat Sports Talk, G Nation. We're always working together, bringing you guys content. Here's exactly what's going to happen. Tyrod Taylor was a journeyman for 1 year in Buffalo. They drafted Josh Allen. Daniel Jones is going to be the 1 year journeyman this year. They're going to get rid of. Okay, am I back? Good. Okay.
oh my
All right.
god.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
going to
you
get
good.
your quarterback next year. Shane has his guy. All right. He's got him lined up. Just like they did Josh Allen in Buffalo. They're going to get the team ready for this kid to come in. So while we're sitting here wondering if Daniel Jones is not going to be the future of this team. He's going to be gone next year. This is his final year. Even if he balls out, they might franchise tag him and trade him. If the kid goes out there and puts up 35 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and we go on a deep playoff run, I still don't see him as the future. Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think they're looking at somebody else in the draft. And
I
they're going
think
to
so too.
let the kid go out there and try to earn his second contract with another team so he gets a bag next year. So for everybody with the Daniel Jones stuff, they hate what if this and that. This is the final year. I'll call it right now. And I'm the biggest Daniel Jones supporter here. The question is going to be on your guys' guy, and that's Saquon Barkley next year, if not this year.
I mean,
That
look,
I don't know what's going on because there ain't no way in hell I want to pay him a bag like C-Mac. I mean, Derrick Henry's on the
hell
cheaper,
no.
but Derrick Henry's definitely more available than C-Mac and Barkley together. You
You know,
know,
and I
Can I
get
say
that.
real quick? I don't want anybody to misconstrue what I'm just saying. Look, I'm a New York Giants fan all the way to the till. You know what I mean, to the grave, bro. I want I want Daniel Jones to succeed.
Of course,
I haven't haven't seen it, man, and I haven't seen the evidence that he will. At least not here. And I really I want it to work. I would love for it to work. I would love to not have to be able to go into the draft next year and already have our quarterback without having to go out and spend a draft pick on a quarterback next year. That would be perfect. Great.
right.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
I'm just not seeing it that way from based off of what I've seen. He has to make me a believer.
I don't think he can do it in 1 year, Mac. I don't think he can do it in 1 year, and that's why I said I think he's gone next year. I think he's the journeyman this year.
He might be the journeyman next year.
Because, well, here's the thing. Next year, think about it, guys. We got $90 million.
Yeah.
All right. Remember when we drafted Eli Manning? What did we do? We brought in Kurt Warner.
True.
Okay. So that's exactly what you're going to see next year. There's going to be quarterbacks on the market next year. This is not a league where they just hang on to quarterbacks forever anymore. These guys get traded. I mean, could you imagine in the 80s if Russell Wilson got traded? You know, John Elway never got traded. Dan Marino never got traded. You know, the only one that really got traded was Joe Montana, but that was because they had Steve Young.
And
Phil Simms never got traded.
Missed
Jim
a couple
Kelly
years. He missed a couple years with the injury.
Right, he did, but that's the only big name quarterback you can really name in the 80s that got traded, right?
Yeah, that's the only
one. I mean, hell, even Burt Jones for the Colts never got freaking traded.
Yeah.
Right about that.
Man,
I mean, it's a different time now. Players are getting, traded left and right.
Free agency changed the game. Free agency changed the game.
It did, big time. But we saw this coming when they enabled it, but it was good for the players. So there's no reason why we can't go get a quarterback next year, whether it's in the draft, whether it's from another team, whether we acquire the capital this year for next year to go do that. These are all the questions, and we all see how important this draft is. Yeah. But I'm telling you guys, this Daniel Jones thing we're talking about right now, it's just this year. This is the last year for the kid. You're not going to see him in a Giants uniform again. I'm 90% sure of that. And like I said, I don't want him to go. I want him to be the future. I want to root for him for 10, 12 years down the road. But there's no way he can win that job in 1 year. There's no quarterback really that could win that job on this team in 1 year. Or you could have the beginnings of Brett Favre. All right. Brett Favre got traded from the Falcons to where? Green Bay.
Yeah.
You know? And then Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years. Wasn't sure if he was the guy. Then he come out and played. He was the guy. Then Green Bay does it with Love. You know, everyone's expecting Love to come out and play because Rodgers couldn't play. And he stuck up the joint. So now Green Bay's stuck paying Aaron Rodgers $50 million because he went and proved a point. My backup sucks. You know, Brett Favre couldn't do that.
And it's with DJ, I would be shocked if they extended him. And I'm a big DJ fan. I'll be honest with you. I am a big DJ fan. I don't think he's perfect. And I agree with you, Joel. It's not going to be something that's going to get fixed in 1 year. But do you think that if this kid could have what we would consider a bounce back year, a really improved year, you don't think that there's a possibility that they extend him on a cost-friendly contract?
No, because you're going to turn him into Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, like you're going to let Kirk Cousins and just keep on franchise tagging him and stuff, like, which you don't want to be in that position.
I mean, but even if you do draft a QB next year, I mean, would you really want to throw him into the fire first?
Well, that's why you get a veteran. When you got $90 million in cap room, you can get one.
But what if they view DJ as that veteran?
Well, if you go free agency $10 million or you franchise tag DJ for $27 million,
I don't even think that necessarily be bad, to be honest with you.
$24 million?
I think it's like $24 million.
Yeah.
But then you have someone that knows your system already.
You're right.
And do they see that as, okay, even if he's not the answer, let's have him be that bridge guy. And if we select someone next year in the first round, give him some time to learn this system. And then, you could trade a Daniel Jones maybe for a second round pick or a third rounder, possibly, depending how he plays this year. But yeah, nah. And I agree with you, NYG 21. He did 22, my fault. He did have 4 years to win the job. I think there's a lot of things that factor into it, if I'm being
Hey,
honest with you.
why do the
Um,
Giants want to pull the trigger when nobody else is pulling the trigger? Washington's not drafting a quarterback. They're trading in the open market. So
uh,
who's worth it this year? Nobody. If none of these other teams are thinking that they're worth it, why do we have to think that we're worth it? There ain't nobody out there that likes any of these quarterbacks. My God, we're looking at quarterbacks getting drafted late first, early second.
yeah, and for me, man, it's if we had the cap that we have next year, this year, with obviously the capital that we have,
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to being in that market for a QB, but unfortunately we don't. We don't have that. I
Yeah.
know that we're gonna have some money once we trade Bradbury and everything, but I just feel that okay, you bring in a
Yeah.
QB, but he still doesn't have an offensive line. We have one tight end on this damn roster right now. We
Right.
don't know if Ross is going to come back. Shep, I mean, he tore his what was it, the Achilles at the end
Achilles.
of damn near the end of the year. So I don't even think he may start this season. We may see him
Right.
in the later half of the season. I mean, then you have Kadarius Tony and Galladay. CJ Board, I'm not entirely sold on. I think he's more of a special teams guy. I
I
mean,
do too.
so it's like I get what you're saying though. To be honest with you, um, but yeah, nah. Again, I get what you're saying. I just feel like if we had more money, I'd be for it. Um, Especially when you look at what the Broncos gave up for Wilson, I don't even think that was entirely too bad for what you're getting in that quarterback. I think Seattle could have gotten a lot more, in my
I still
opinion.
wouldn't have gave him Noah Fant. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have
Now
gave him
I
Noah
know
Fant.
you and I
Right.
had that talk about it where it's
Right.
Mac and I, we were kind of going back and forth a little bit, and I said, would you be more comfortable giving up Fant or would you be more comfortable giving up Jerry Judy? And for me, man, I mean, I'd rather keep Jerry Judy. I think you can find yourself a tight end, especially a free agency.
Well,
I
this
like Jerry
draft,
Judy.
I like the tight ends in this draft. I mean,
Yeah, there's some nice tight ends.
second, third round is where they're going to start going too. So you're going to have the draft to grab one.
Yeah, and when you look at it, that's really outside of quarterback. Seattle needed a tight end. They have some receivers over there that they can work with. I don't know if they bring back Penny. I don't think he's a free agent this year. I actually don't think that. But they needed a tight end over there. They've really been lacking at that position since Jimmy Graham, if we're being honest. So I mean, I think that he fits that piece well. But again, now they got to figure out, okay, who's going to be their quarterback. So I
Speaking
mean,
about
I don't know.
quarterback, I'm sorry, his squad.
You
Speaking of
good, man?
quarterbacks, though, how do y'all feel about Mr. Carson Wentz coming back to the NFC East?
Oh,
I'll let you go. I got a lot of thoughts on it, but I'll let you go first, Joe.
oh my God.
I love it.
I, man, I don't understand because Carson Wentz, when he was with the Colts, okay, the last two games he only had to win one. Couldn't do it against
One.
two of the worst teams in the NFL. What they do? They lost to Jacksonville and they lost to the Texans, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got Jonathan Taylor, the best running back in the NFL. They got a damn good defense over there. Um, then he wants to Carson Wentz, it was rumored, wanted to talk to the owner, and the owner wouldn't even talk to him. He's like, nope, I'm avoiding that situation. Nope. So you knew what was happening there. That tells you how bad the quarterback market is. If Washington, who offered 4 first-round picks for Russell Wilson and they didn't take it, but yet took Denver's offer because they got players. So if the football, well, the Commodores, Commanders, whatever the hell it is, why didn't they
Commodores.
offer like Josh Sweat or one of a couple of their players and 3 first-round picks? If you're
Yeah.
going to go with 4 first rounds, throw some players out there if you need a quarterback. What's the it's a confusing situation to me that it's a Washington thing, man. It has to be because ever
That's what
since
they
they won
known
their
for.
last Super
That's what
Bowl,
that's what Washington's known for, man.
man,
In
I
these
mean
mid
Dan Snyder
QBs.
just oh my God, you guys think
Well,
we have bad owners?
I'll be honest with you, Joel. I mean, I think as much as they were interested in these quarterbacks like Wilson, like Rodgers. I mean, they both had no trade clauses on their contracts. Number one. So
Right.
two, you got to also think about it with all the stuff that they've gone through in terms of their ownership just within the last 2 years. Do you really think you want to play there? I mean, they really had no choice but to go get Carson Wentz. I mean, Colts wanted to give up on Carson Wentz. They wanted to collect anything that they could. And at that point, we all knew that Washington was desperate
Yeah.
for a quarterback. We all knew that.
Mm.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm actually kind of excited to have him back in the division. I think it makes a great story, not just for the Commanders, but it makes a great story in terms of just the division. Right now, I mean, this division, in my opinion, is
You know the
wide open.
Eagles gonna kill him.
I mean, that's going to be fun too. Carson going back to Philly, that's going to be fun. I think Commander Carson has a nice ring to it.
I got
But
breaking news.
oh, what's going on? What's going
Adam
on?
Schefter, Colt McCoy is
Colt
returning to the
McCoy.
Cardinals on a 2-year, $7.5 million deal that includes $6 million fully guaranteed at signing.
That's actually pretty good for them. He didn't do too
Mm-hmm.
bad when he came in.
Right. So that takes him out
Yeah,
of the
Right.
market.
it was winning games. He was winning games with Arizona.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I honestly, you still got Mariota out there. You still got Tyrod. Um, but again, it's going to be very interesting to see how the Giants approach this offseason. Uh, I get, a lot of people want DJ gone, and I get it. I mean, look, I would have loved to have Wilson here. I would have loved to have one of these other quarterbacks here, but it's just not the year for us to do that, unfortunately. But to go back to the Carson Wentz thing, they got some. I mean, if you got to be Terry McLaurin, you got to be very happy. You got to be very happy to have someone that can throw the ball to you downfield.
yes.
With Carson Wentz, I know he got some injury issues. I mean, dude, kind of like Daniel Jones, just doesn't know when to give up on a play. He'll damn near get a concussion, just to make sure that he can convert on a second, excuse me,
Just
on
trying to
a
do
second and
whatever it
4.
takes.
But
No
I
authentic.
don't think that he's a long-term answer over there for the Commanders.
I
But
will agree with authentic here. He's definitely an upgrade over
oh
Heineke.
yeah,
Heineke,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely, man.
But should Washington, should they, as far as what Wentz cost them? I mean,
The contract's
would
not entirely terrible for them.
no,
They
but
have
should
the
they have
money.
gone after like Minshew or maybe Garoppolo stayed in that market?
I'll be honest with you, Minshew, I don't think gives you a higher ceiling than Wentz. And Garoppolo, I think honestly, Garoppolo is going to go to a situation where he can win. Not saying he can't win with Washington, but I prefer to see him on a team like the Colts or on
Well,
on, on a team,
well,
that where he can go and actually win something. You know,
they'll
my bad, Joe. You're cutting out. I can't hear you.
right because it's not
Yeah.
like man, my God, it's killing me.
You're better
Oh,
now. I
I'm
can hear
so
you now.
sorry, folks. Yeah, look, I mean, it's not like Washington doesn't have weapons.
Yeah.
They got a really good defense. I mean, Garoppolo would definitely have some players to throw the ball to. They got a pretty damn good running back. So,
It,
I mean, I think Garoppolo on the football team, in my opinion, and I'm not saying this because everyone thinks I'm a Garoppolo lover. That was just something, but I think he would give him a better chance than Wentz. I mean, look at you can say what you want. Wentz couldn't beat two of the worst teams. Jimmy G at least took the 49ers to the NFC Championship game. I mean, you could say it was Debo. You could say it was the 49ers defense. But during that playoff run, Garoppolo really didn't turn the ball over and just made solid plays.
and I get what you're saying.
So,
I don't know though. I think, in my honest opinion, Joel, I think that when Carson Wentz is playing great or playing, at a high level, he's a good quarterback.
oh,
The
I didn't know
problem
that authentic. Okay.
is he's not consistent with it, in my opinion. Again, we talk about injury prone, definitely injury prone. He also has a fumbling issue too. But
Mhm.
again, the way I look at Carson Wentz, I mean, You pair up with Frank Wright. You go to one of the best offensive lines in the league, a stout
Yes.
defense. Jonathan Taylor, who a lot some people were saying should have won MVP, and you couldn't get it done there. I understand,
Right. Right.
again, there's moments where he's playing at a high level, and he's a good quarterback. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all and say that Carson Wentz isn't a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Problem is his injuries and consistencies. But I think if you're a Washington fan, with how the QB market went, especially how quick it went, you had uh Rodgers, boom, then you had Wilson, boom. I think this was your best option with Carson Wentz when you look at the market, especially when you
Well,
look at the draft too.
well, time's going to tell on this. I
Oh,
mean, whether we're
absolutely.
right or wrong, but it's a damn good debate. I do love it. Man, shout out to the 34 in the chat. Thank you so much for
Thank
everybody
you. Thank
joining
you.
us on this free agent, tampering period. Glad you could all make it. Spend your Monday afternoon with us, going over all the things that have gone over today. Some surprise takes here as far as where guys are going. Some really surprising contracts, with Kirk and Trubisky going to the Steelers. The Eagles picking up Reddick. The Jaguars going in on this on the old line. They're
Yeah.
really, going to get Lawrence some help this year.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
let's swing the topic over to them because he was the number one draft pick last year.
Hmm.
Not much
Mm-hmm.
talked about him this year. They got some stud players over there that for a good record, but how's that going to work as a cohesive unit? Scheme, new head coach. Urban Meyer was there last year, got let go. We all know what happened with that. They've had some problems in the front office with the GM search. I still haven't. I still don't know if they've got a GM in there or somebody
Trent
underneath,
Baalke.
or
Yeah.
what are you guys thinking about that?
I mean, Jacksonville is. I mean, I don't know, just for lack of better words, their organization is just a mess. I mean, I feel like they get a new coach every damn year. I ain't never seen nothing like it. What's going on? What goes on down in Jacksonville? Nobody seems to want to stay there. And that's what really seems to affect their players the most, if you ask me, because there's so much constant change, constant change every single season. There, it's like nothing can ever seem to get stable and be stable in Jacksonville. But
Sure.
they definitely need to fix that, get that offensive line together, because Trevor Lawrence was running for his life all season last year, and they can't have that. They invested too much in that kid, and they need to get some proper weapons on the outside. I mean, DJ Chark, well, he's a free agent now, but they brought in Marvin Jones to be like your number one guy. That's like not even taking that seriously. That's not
Yeah.
Right.
taking
Definitely.
that's not taking it seriously. Bringing some weapons to town to help this kid. So if you want to bring in Marvin Jones to be your number one, he's a good, solid what he is, like number 2, 3 receiver. But they just gotta start building right and try to get some stability and be consistent in Jacksonville, man. Get something going and build something to make people believe in and make your players believe in, make them want to stick around.
Yeah.
Jayla, you
And I
got
agree with
Twitter?
you, man. Um,
Jayla, you got Twitter? I don't want. I got a lot of people in here watching. I don't want to just drop the link and because I don't. Well, y'all remember what happened to Entertainer? People would come on
Mm-hmm.
and
He
there's
just
a big
came.
old
Yeah.
porno picture. Yeah.
yeah. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
But to answer your question, Joel, I agree with you, Mac. I think that the front office is kind of a mess. Last year, I'll be honest with you, I didn't understand the Urban Meyer hiring. I still don't understand it at this point.
That
Um,
confused me too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you though. I think that Doug Peterson was a nice hire. I mean, you have a former NFL quarterback, you have a Super Bowl winning coach. I think that right now what they need is stability and an offensive minded coach for Trevor Lawrence. And I think that they're going to be a lot better than what they were last year, of course. But if I'm the Jags, I mean, Houston, they're looking to trade Watson. The Colts don't have a quarterback. They're kind of scrambling around like a chicken with no head on, trying to find a QB. I mean, why not go all
Make
in
sure you
and
get Twitter.
Yeah, no, definitely, Jay. But yeah, if I'm the Jags, why not go all in on your second year quarterback? Teams try to really build around their rookie contract quarterback, and I really do think that Trevor Lawrence will have a better year this year. Will they win the division? I'm not entirely sure about that. If the Colts get a QB, I don't think that. But we'll see. I like it though. I like where the Jags are heading, but I do think that they are overpaying for some of these players.
Oh Lord.
Well, I think they're at the point where they almost have to, aren't they, hit squad? Because,
Yeah.
Coughlin, I mean, everybody hated Coughlin because he was so strict. And Coughlin was hated by the
Mhm.
players at the Giants when he first got here.
Mhm.
But he restricted some stuff, and you know what? You guys, they can say they hated Coughlin, but damn it, he had that team in what, the AFC Championship game?
Mhm.
I mean, they
You
had some
know,
play. They have some. They excuse me. They had some studs on that roster as well.
right, right,
Um, but yeah, no. I mean, I get what you're saying. I still think that they have talent over there, though. I mean,
right.
their roster is depleted.
Josh
Don't get me
Allen, the
wrong.
edge rusher.
Yeah, they got Josh Allen. I want to see how Travis Etienne comes back and plays.
Yes,
Um, and Lawrence, for what it's worth, man. I mean, I still like him as a QB prospect. Um, I like the Kirk signing. I don't like what they're paying him, but I'm not going to act like Kirk didn't ball over there in Arizona either. I just think they have a lot of wide receivers over there for Arizona. So and on
yes.
top of that, Murray wants his money. So could they really have afforded to sign Ertz, sign Murray, sign Kirk the money he wanted? Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But you go and get yourself that number one wide receiver, which is what they're hoping. But again, if I'm the Jags, with how this division is looking right now, I mean, to me, it's wide open. So why not go out there with your new head coach, get some pieces that you feel fits your system and what you're trying to do, and go make a run at your division. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do and how they play this year. But I think ultimately we'll see a better offense than what we saw last year because that offense looked terrible last year with the Jaguars. So
Right. Well,
hopefully
you
Peterson
know,
can shape things up over there.
now we got to really look at how it's going to affect the draft with all the moves that they've made.
Well, that's why I said I think all signs is pointing them taking an edge rusher. I
Right.
mean, if they didn't, and they could still take a Quanu or Neil. I'm not saying that they won't, but if you're asking me, with the moves that they've been making, it just to me at least is pointing that they're looking at the defensive side of the ball. And as a Giants fan, I got no issue with that. Let one of those tackles fall to us at 5. I
I
got no
agree.
problem with that.
I agree.
As much as I want Thibodeau, if he goes to the Lions or if he goes to the Texans and Hutchinson is number one, I got no problem with that because whether that's Neil, whether that's Aquanu, I mean, I would be very happy with that. Um, and Eric, yeah, look, I get what you're saying. I mean, we've both been equally as bad. I wouldn't necessarily put us in the same basket as the Jaguars. But I get what you're saying, though. I'm not gonna act, like the Jags didn't almost make it to the Super Bowl with Blake Bortles as their quarterback. I'm not gonna sit here and just act crazy. But I wouldn't necessarily put them in the same basket. That's just me, though. I know not a lot of people may agree with that.
No, not really. You know, today's moves, IKM or Neil could be there for the Giants. That's exactly what we're saying, Chris.
I just want to say this real quick, man. For how much Neil weighs, he doesn't even look his size. It's how does he make? I think it's 376. I don't know how he makes that look so slim.
335, I thought he was at the
Because he's
combine.
all
Oh yeah,
muscle.
yeah. No, you're
Yeah,
right.
he
You're right.
lost a lot of weight.
That dude's all muscle.
He looks a lot smaller than what he did playing at Alabama. He did something.
Yeah,
Eh,
I mean,
Hmm.
but I still think he'd be an excellent right tackle for us.
He might be a lot better now that he lost that 40 pounds
Yeah,
Hmm.
because now he doesn't have the wear and tear on his knees and on his ankles. I mean, that's what worried me about the guy that went to the Jets. I want to call him worse, but that's
Makai,
not it.
uh,
Makai
Makai Becton. Yeah.
Becton, because he was hurt all last year because of his massive size. And it's, you do have to worry about that because if you're an offense that wants to run traps and blocks and jet sweeps, you've got to have that athletic guy out there. that can move and run and oh my God, how many times did we see the Giants try to do a wide receiver screen or a jet sweep and the damn guard or tackle would miss the block?
Yeah.
Saw that a lot.
Yes, and that's the frustrating part. So when we're sitting here looking at the tackle class, who's the best, who's not, I think that's why I fell in love with Ikeem because I think he's really athletic, and
Oh
that's why I would
shit!
rather have
It
Cross.
look like
Be,
JC. Ayo, it
yeah,
look like JC Jackson could go to the Chargers.
right. I'm thinking
Yeah.
that those guys are a little bit more athletic. Will Hernandez is a dog turd. I mean, people were just stepping around him like you do in the park and continuing after the quarterback. That's all that he was, and I'll not. That's all he'll ever be. As far as the other guys, I brought this up and I'm kind of starting to lean towards it. How messed up were they because the O-line coach was fighting with the head coach and he was already leaving after week 9. So how do we know he wasn't just going through the motions?
I mean, we don't.
Right.
I'm not entirely sure. To be very honest with you, I really, I'm not sure. I'm not
That's
entirely sure.
that's the reality of it. We will never know. We have an
Yeah.
idea, thank you Joe Judge, for how messed up this organization was. Because if it wasn't for him and all the fiasco that went on, all the BS that went on, the in-house fighting, we'd never have known just exactly how messed up everything actually and truly was.
Mhm.
And then finally, thank God, Mara and Tish stepped in. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mara, Tish is the guy that came in and said, "Look, when you hired Judge, I wanted Gettleman gone. You didn't do it. Well, this time I want Gettleman gone and I want Judge gone. I want a new regime." And he fought for it and he got what he wanted. And by all of this happening, you know what? Joe Judge, I'm going to give him credit. If they turn this around and we start making championship runs here in the next 2, 3, 4 years, Judge is going to get a lot of the credit for the way this team turned around. And I'm sorry, but that's going to be my belief.
I mean, it depends on who they bring in because let's say they sign, let's say a player in the draft that has a bigger impact than a
No,
player
no,
that
let's
Joe
put
Judge brought in. I mean, they might say, okay, like this is a player that Shane brought in. This is the kind of talent that we should be looking forward to. That Shane brings in going forward. But I get what you're saying. There are some players that Judge brought in that I'm rooting for, and like Ojolari, McKinney is one. But at the same time, I mean, when you look at other teams throughout the league, right, when they lose a coach and then they bring in a new coach, the fans are still going to root for their team. You know, they're still going to root for some of the players that were from a previous regime, I think. Um, but I mean, no, I mean, I think that Judge deserves some credit for some of the players that we have here that are not only just stud players, in my opinion, but they're versatile. Um, so and it's going to be very interesting to see how they play in this new scheme. Um, whether we keep a player like Love, whether we keep you know a player like Roche, which I mean I hope that he can stay, but I'd like to see him in Wink's defense personally. Um, I wanted to ask Joel. I mean, in your honest opinion, when you look at where we're at right now, let's say that they don't attack the offensive guard position in free agency and they just solely depend on the draft. I mean, how early could you see that happening? That picking up a guard. I mean, do you see that in the first round, even in a trade back scenario? Do you see that at round two?
Man, it's so hard to say this because, well, when we did that mock draft last night, Kyle Hamilton fell to 19th. Okay, and that was a computer based, and that was people could actually go into the website and make picks for their teams.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then let's look at last year. Ojolari fell to us. We traded down twice and still got Ojolari. The year before that, McKinney fell to us. He was a top 10, top 12 prospect. So can I say in the second round is the time that I see a guard? No. Can I say in the third? No, because look at how we traded up and got that corner. And everybody's like last year, why did we trade up and get a corner? We don't need a corner.
Mhm.
But then all of a sudden, week 13, week 14, we needed him, and he was there. And you know what? This is a damn good pickup. So,
Mhm.
he might be a future on this team.
It's possible. Yeah. Yeah.
So, there's so much to the draft that if I'm believing Shane said he's not going to spend for overspend for a free agent. We're seeing that today. And then Shane also said he's not going to reach. So we got to expect that in the draft. So if he's going to go BPA, which is the true way to do your draft, man, look for him to trade up in the 4th round. Maybe look for him to trade up in the 5th round. The 4th and 5th rounds to me might be where the best value is, because if you look at our assistant GM from the Eagles, that's where they get their guys. You look at Shade and you look at that Buffalo Bills offensive line that started out 3rd, 4th, 5th round. That's where they get their offensive lineman. That O-line coach, he's got nothing but kudos with everything that he did. Outside of when they had injuries like us, they lost to the Jaguars 9-6. They lost 2 or 3 games in a row, but then they got their players back. So that's why Buffalo right now is trying to acquire O-line depth, so that if that happens again, they don't go on a 2-3 game skid. So, but that's going to be us, because we are not going to be able to get that depth right now. So we have to rely on the guys that we get. It has to be good value. It has to be a good pick. And it has to be somebody that we hope does not get an injury or injured, because look at when Andrew Thomas went down. That affected DJ. When Nick Gates went down, that affected the whole offensive line, because when Nick Gates was in there, that offensive line was not bad. We were all saying that. We were all kind of proud of the way that those guys were out there performing. And then Gates got moved to left guard, and the first 2 series before he got hurt, we were moving the ball. We were running. We were moving. We were ecstatic as Giants fans. And then to watch Nick crumpled up at the 15-yard line, grabbing his leg, screaming, that sent a shockwave through Giants Nation, and that was the downfall.
I mean, yeah, Gates was the heart and soul of this offensive line. That is definitely true. Indeed,
Yep, he
man.
was. He definitely was.
And that would that could understand how that would impact, how that could impact their play. But that was still very early in the season, and it still had plenty more season, to come around,
right,
and kind of overcome that. So I know exactly where you're coming from, though, Joe, because that is very true. I mean, that was a big. He was a team captain. He was an offensive captain for a reason, man. The guys looked up to him. He was a guy in the locker room looked up to. So that is a huge loss for this football team so early in the season.
Man, who else stood up to Aaron Darnold?
No, I get it. I get it, man.
We loved him for that. We loved him. He became a fan favorite that moment. I'm not going to lie. He became my favorite.
That was a big moment for him. That was a big moment for him.
But let's not forget, guys, he was an undrafted.
Yeah, he was. He was undrafted.
And he turned into a team captain. So that's why I'm saying, we might not be making a splash now, but with Jacksonville getting linemen, with the Bengals getting linemen, with the Bills signing linemen, these are teams that aren't going to be looking for linemen when it comes to the 1st, 2nd round. These guys are going to drop to us. So there might be a guard at 28 where we could take our 2nd round pick, move back into the 1st. We might be able to wait and let the draft comes to us, because I got a feeling that that's what Shane's going to do, unless it's, a top tier talent that's just staring at us on the board. All right, because any GM is going to go after that. So let's say in the 1st we get IKM, and then with the 2nd, oh my God! Right when I get going. one of these days, I'm gonna pay for really good internet and get it. Okay.
You and me both, Joe. So you and me both.
Oh man, if we get IKM at 5, okay, then trade the 7th pick, acquire more picks. All right, that might be the best way to go. that might be the best way to go. Look, we might miss out on an edge rusher, but if we really need the offensive lineman and we can acquire a second this year and a fourth rounder and a first next year, because we go down to 12, 13, 14. Okay, we get the capital for next year. We get 2 first-round picks again, back-to-back years. We get 2 second-round picks. That second-round pick allows us to look at 2 offensive linemen in the second round. That might mean that maybe linebacker in the second round, get Harris, get a lineman. Who's on the board. It allows you more flexibility. It allows you to look at best player instead of best player by position. Son of a bitch.
Hey, it's all good,
I'm
Joe.
going to let you guys talk because it's just not going to let me, man. Damn it.
Yeah, nah.
It's not going to let me.
Look, man. I mean, I'm telling you, fix this offensive line. Fix this offensive line, and I think you'll see a better product on this field, man. Not just from the QB position, but just.
Welcome back, Matt. Right?
Yeah. For me,
Oh,
hey.
here's
Yeah.
another free agent signing. Cowboys wide receiver Cedric Wilson is signing a 3-year deal with the Miami Dolphins.
Ooh.
Cedric Wilson.
Yeah.
Cedric
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Cedric Wilson is signing a 3-year deal with the Dolphins.
Wow.
I mean, do the Cowboys take a wide receiver in the second round? I don't know. I could
mean,
see
yeah,
it.
like they just gave Gallup big money.
Yeah, I mean, Cedric Wilson is getting pretty good money too. I mean, he's getting around $7 million a year. I mean, you, damn, that offense is taking a hit, man. I mean, you lose Cooper, you lose Wilson.
That Zeke contract, man.
I mean, Zeke's contract, Dax. I know that they restructured Dax, and I believe what was it, Zach Martin that they restructured as well. But nah, man. I mean, I'm telling you, I think Dallas's window is closing, man. Slowly but surely, I think it's closing.
Boy, I'm telling you, it's
a cold business, man. It's a cold business.
Man, I mean, this free agency it's been one of the best free agencies as far as, trades and excitement. I mean, we're not even a fan of these teams, but yet, some of these contracts we're seeing and the places these guys are going. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're fine, Mac. No problem. I got to do something with mine too. It might go out the window for all I know. CD Lamb show now. Yeah, can CD Lamb be a true number one? That's the question, guys.
CD Lamb a true number one?
What are you thinking, Hit Squad? Can the Cowboys count on CD Lamb to be a true number one without having not Gallup, Cooper out there?
For me, I mean, I like CD Lamb. I think that he could be a number one going forward, but I don't know. To be honest with you, there was moments where Amari disappeared last year.
Dropped the ball.
Yes. And he could have stepped up in certain moments, and he kind of disappeared in himself. But for me, I mean, if you're Dallas, you gotta hope that he could be that number one. You have to hope that he could be that number one. And I always thought that Amari was that number one. Regardless of them picking CD in the first round, I thought that Amari was still the number one. I think that Lamb could, but I think that he kind of saw last year he was getting at times that number one treatment, and he didn't really do too well. So I'm not sure, to be honest, but I think he could be a nice 1B, maybe a number 2 at worst.
Whew. Sorry, I'm just
No problem.
Oh my goodness. Christian Kirk and Mitchell Trubisky will make a combined $35 million a year. Jalen Hurts and Amon-Ra St. Brown will make a combined $2.5 million this year.
Well, they're both still on their rookie contracts.
Right, but wow, what a difference.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, man.
Oh.
I mean, again, I'm not a fan of that of that Kirk contract. Both of the Kirks. I'm not a fan of the contracts, but I mean, hey. But again, if you to go back to the CeeDee Lamb question, if you're Dallas, you gotta hope that he's your number one. Because if not, you just traded your number one for pennies on the dollar. Um, I would not be shocked at all if they took a wide receiver early. I feel like they're kind of gonna have to. They're losing receivers, so I feel like
Right.
they're gonna, if not the first round, which I could see at this point. I mean, I think that they may want to add some pieces to the offensive line. Um, or maybe even go out there and if they do cut DeMarcus Lawrence, maybe they take an edge rusher. Um, but nah, I wouldn't be shocked if they took a wide receiver early at all.
No, I think Amari is still a number one wide receiver authentic. I'm just wondering if CeeDee Lamb can fill that role now. That's what I'm wondering. And then Danny, what's good? Hey guys, just got to work. Did we do anything today? We got a wide receiver that's he's not expensive. He's not a flash. Um, and then we re-signed. Was it Stills or was it Pettis?
We signed CJ Board. We signed
CJ Board.
Robert Foster, who's a former Dolphin, a former Bill. Also was at Alabama, I believe, with Brian Dable. So there's familiarity there.
Yes.
If we're gonna go way back, I mean, we got Antonio Williams from the Bills as well.
Don't know. We just signed, so we do have a lineman. We did get a lineman already, guys.
Gano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Matt
I think they go and get one more. To be honest with you, one or two more.
I think we
Yeah,
have
they're gonna
to.
get one more.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, prior to Worley getting cut, I really wanted John Feliciano, but I wouldn't be upset if they took one of those guys because you're bringing in not only players that have a little bit of upside to them, they have familiarity with the system, they have familiarity with the coaches and the general manager, and I think honestly you could get either one of them on a cost-effective deal. I don't think the Giants are just going to attack the offensive line in the draft. And I think it would be wise to attack it in the draft and free agency. I'm not saying go out there and spend big money like what Jacksonville is, but I think that they could go out there and make a couple small signings. I would consider Feliciano a small signing, maybe a medium signing, but it's not going to be like what we were doing last year, guys. Maybe next year, but I don't think that this year we're going to be seeing any big signings. So we're going to be watching this from the stands, and I have no issues doing that whatsoever, um, personally. And maybe, just maybe, one of these players that we do sign can have a Marcus Golden type impact. Where we're getting them on a
And I
very
got
low.
breaking news.
Oh, what's your breaking news, man? I'll get to my point later.
Former Broncos quarterback Teddy Bridgewater intends to sign a one-year deal to be the backup quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, per league sources. Adam Schefter.
Tua.
Hey, that's not a bad signing from Miami. That you want to talk about a quarterback that can maybe go in there and push Tua a little bit, not take his job, but maybe push him a little bit.
Thank
I
you,
think
Pat.
Bridgewater
So,
would be your guy.
there you go.
So I mean, that's a good signing for Miami. Miami's getting some things done over there. But yeah, nah.
Salute
the
to
Dolphins got Tua.
Salute, Tudo.
AK. Nimmer, what's good? So, oh yeah, that's shit.
No, you're doing good, Joe. I can hear you. You're doing good.
Oh,
but again,
turn
man,
that
I
off.
mean,
Let's see if that helps.
if you're the Giants, attack that O-line in free agency in the draft. It gives you at least if you're gonna make a medium signing, maybe you could get one of those Bills offensive linemen on a 1 or 2 year deal. Nothing crazy. And yeah, we can see from there. Um, I had someone ask me earlier today, and I think I already know everyone's answer here. Taj, Joel's. Uh, would y'all be opposed if Bradbury was up to restructure that contract? I doubt he is. I think that the Giants move him. But I mean, would you be opposed to it? I saw someone tag him today, telling him to resign, and he liked the tweet. So I mean, that's nothing, honestly. But I mean,
yes,
do you
I
see it
am
happening?
authentic. I'm hardwired in.
Yeah, I'm hardwired in myself. But I mean, could you see him possibly taking a restructure, if anything?
No, because Shane doesn't want to do that. He's not going to push back any money. He's going to clear. Look, the Bills when they took over the Bills, they took a $70 million dead cap hit that first year. Shane is
Yeah,
not a believer. He's going to clear the table and he's going to get things in the way he wants to get them in.
yeah,
So
I agree with you
look,
there.
if we have to run another rough season, so be it. That's what he was brought in for.
Hmm.
He's brought. Why is my computer screen flashing off and on? What the hell's going on? Let's try unplugging that.
But nah, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, Joe. If I'm the Giants, I'm gonna
Let's
be
try that.
honest with you. I would kind of wait to see what J.C. Jackson is gonna do. If the Chargers select him and they sign him, which I think that could actually happen, um, I mean, I think teams will call for Bradbury.
All
If
right.
I'm the Giants, I might wait a little bit to see what happens with JC.
That's just it. I think the Giants right now are waiting on the cornerback market to see what's going on. We haven't heard
They're
much
trying to
on
wait
that
for
front.
J.C. Jackson on
Right.
what he can
Yeah,
get.
that's
We're
what I'm
not
saying. If they can wait, that might be in their best interest.
so but yeah, you're not going to see this team the days of what we've seen before where they're pushing contracts back to try to do what the Saints do every year. Those days are gone. Okay, the shade of that I don't foresee us getting into that kind of scenario ever again. I think the most you'll ever see from Shane is a 3-year contract. I don't think you're going to ever see a 4 or a 5-year deal out of this guy. You're never going to see him overspend. He's going to be about quantity or quality over quantity, but yeah, he's also going to, he understands that you got to have good depth to be a functioning team where you got players that could come off the bench that we always say that the rounds 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are the ones that when you hit on them, that's what makes your team really good. Because those are the guys you're only paying 7, 8, $900,000 a year to. And that allows you to go out there and get the $20 million players. Like a quarterback on a rookie deal. We're always saying that a quarterback on a rookie deal is the way to go because you could surround your rookie with talent. You can go out and win the Super Bowl. And then that's been a proven theory also. So Shane is going to look for guys that are of value, but yet they're not going to break the bank. So when you're doing stuff like that, you better have a good scouting team. Better have a
Yeah,
good scouting department. You've got to have that cohesiveness. And I think that's what we're looking at.
yeah, nah, and I agree with you 100%, Joe. 100%. To answer your question, Zach, I personally, I would love to see Juju with the 49ers. Personally, um, I think right now Pittsburgh isn't going to bring him back. There was rumors that Dallas may look to pick up Juju Smith-Schuster, which I don't think that would necessarily be bad for them either. But I personally like to see Juju Smith either with the Chiefs. I'd love to see him over there again with the 49ers. Um, I don't know if nah, I'm not gonna say I don't know if he'd work in Dallas. I think that he actually would
Oh,
as like a number 3 or even a number 2. Because I don't know how Michael Gallup is gonna play coming off of this ACL. I know usually,
whoa.
especially with technology nowadays, and
What?
The,
yeah,
the Chargers are definitely going all in because they're going to sign cornerback J.C. Jackson to a big money deal per Ian Rappaport.
Yep, told you.
yep,
Yep.
J.C. Jackson's going to the Chargers.
good for you,
Man,
man. Good for you, man. And if
good
I'm the
for him.
Giants, that's your best case scenario because you can then now wait to see what teams are
Yes.
willing to offer.
Yes.
For Bradbury.
Man, thank you, G, man. Oh, yes, I am. I love fishing. I do fishing videos too. Cedric Wilson Jr. going to Miami. They went BPA. Yes. That's how you. Gamer boy, what's good? Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. No, the Chargers are not playing games. So there's another team. Let's look at that division, guys. Let's break that down a little bit because the Chargers, it looks like they're ready to win right now. They believe in their quarterback. They missed out on the playoffs last year. They added what? Bosa and
Khalil Mack as
Khalil
well.
Mack. Yeah, and they only gave up minimal picks for Khalil Mack. That
Yep,
blew my mind.
a 2 and a 6. I'll be honest with you. They had to make this move. They had to make these moves. I mean, not only I get it. Denver goes out and gets Russell Wilson. You're still in a division with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Every year until that man retires, you are going to be dealing with Patrick Mahomes. So if I'm the Chargers, you have no choice but to go all in. Because last year, they missed the playoffs. The Raiders go to the playoffs. Chiefs go to the playoffs. Now they're in a position where they are in such a stacked division right now.
Oh
They
my
have
God.
no choice but to make these moves.
Right.
And I don't think Denver's done making moves. I don't think the Raiders have to, in my opinion, make some moves here because the Raiders, I mean, Jesus Christ, if you're a Raiders fan, you look at the teams that are in your division and you're saying, how can I keep up with these teams? And look, I love me some Derek Carr. I really do. I wouldn't have a problem if the Giants went and got themselves a Derek Carr. But if you're Derek Carr and the Raiders, you got to be thinking to yourself, I mean, boy, you are going to be in a heap of trouble for the next couple years in that division, man. I mean, it's thank God that we're Giants fans and we play in a shitty ass division.
Right.
Because I would
Gamer
hate to
boy,
be
man.
an AFC fan right now.
Welcome to the channel, man. We're all huge Giants fans here too. It's just Tampering Monday. We're discussing what's going down, who's agreeing to contracts. We're always talking Giants football. Hit squad, Taj, like, subscribe, ring that bell. Make sure you sub up to Big Pat Sports Talk, and you sub up to G Nation, and you sub up to Mac the Giants fans. We're always on each other's channel, and we're always rotating around. Whether we're doing mocks, whether we're talking Giants, we do it 3, 4, 5 days a week. I call college football. We love to have fun, and there's a bunch of Giants fans in here. So, man, welcome and appreciate you for tuning in. I don't think they have it. Keenan Allen is getting older, and Mike Williams, I don't know about that, dude.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Keenan Allen is still a beast of a player, and Mike Williams is a good wide receiver for the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they have a nice 1-2 there. Maybe they could go out there and get themselves another wide receiver in the draft. But in my honest opinion, I mean, if I'm a Chargers fan, you got to be happy with the approach of the offseason.
God.
What
The Chargers are giving former Patriots cornerback J.C. Jackson a 5-year deal, $82.5 million deal that invoices $40 million guaranteed.
I'll be honest with you, for the level of production that you're getting with J.C. Jackson, as a Chargers fan, I mean, I don't think you could be upset at that. He's Mr. Interception for a reason. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mr. INT.
Wow.
I mean, and now you're looking at a defense that has Bosa, Khalil Mack, Derwin James, if he can stay healthy, is a beast. You also got St. Rob Brown. You got excuse me, Asante. Is it Asante Samuel they signed junior?
Asante Samuel, yeah, Asante Samuel Jr.
On top of that, again, now you go out there and pair it with J.C. Jackson. I mean, they have a loaded defense. But again, you play in a division where you got to deal with Mahomes, you got to deal with Wilson. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, Denver has some studs over there at the wide receiver position.
Right.
So I feel like this is a move you have to make if you're the Chargers. And they got themselves a good one.
And Dolphins tight end Mike Gesicki has signed his franchise tag tender, first player.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge for them, man.
Yes.
That's big.
And Gamer Boy wants to know what other players do we think the Giants will sign? Right now, it's too soon to tell.
Definitely too soon.
Rumors coming out. They're looking at a quarterback. We're going to need more linemen. Um, yeah, we signed a wide receiver. We did get a lineman ago. We re-signed David Stills, so he'll be special teams, I believe. It's hard right now because I think we're only $9 million under the cap. So we're looking for bargain basement cellar dwellers, uh, good value, high upside. Basically, what it is right now. That's all we can do, unless Galladay gets caught. If Bradbury gets cut here, I could see us going after a mid-level interior lineman. Who's the center there for the Ravens? Bredesen, isn't that the guy we're interested in?
Bradley
Uh,
Bozeman.
there's
Or
Bozeman out there. There's
Bozeman,
some
that's it.
talent out there.
Right. So,
And
so,
and and I'll agree with you, Joe. I
so
agree.
there's a couple of people that we're still interested in, but right now I don't see us doing anything until this free agent market settles down a little bit. Today's the exciting day.
Hmm.
I expect to hear, something with Galladay or Bradbury before I hear any of us signing anybody else. That's we got to get some money somehow. So those are the two ways that.
Yeah, Gamer Boy, to answer your question, I think, and I'll say this again,
Thank you.
the Giants are not going to make any big time signings like they did last year. But I do think that they look at the offensive line. I could see them absolutely bringing in guard John Feliciano. I could see them, if not going out there and getting offensive lineman Daryl Williams, who the Bills also released today. Uh, and that doesn't stop you from getting a tackle. That doesn't stop you from getting a guard in the draft. But you're bringing in players that have familiarity with the system and the coaching staff. Also, on top of the coaching staff, I mean, they got familiarity with offensive line coach Bobby Johnson. So you're going to be having people that are part of that offensive line that, again, they have familiarity with what you like to do. Now, I'm not saying that these are guys that are going to come in and just be all pro
All
level players or anything like that. They might be depth pieces, and I'm okay with that. But those, I'm telling you, it's going to be small signings if there's going to be any signings, and
right,
that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
right.
But you got to imagine that at least at the offensive line position, maybe they go out there and pick up a depth corner, and they whether that's for special teams or again just depth at the cornerback position for Wink's defense. I could see that too. But to go back to what Joe said, it's going to be a little difficult to see what they're going to do. But I think right now, what we were just talking about, Gamer Boy, if you're the Giants, I mean, you got to imagine that Bradbury's stock increased even just a little bit
Yes.
with J.C. Jackson getting signed. Look out for teams like the Chiefs. Look out for teams like the Bengals. You could also throw maybe even Seattle in that conversation. You could throw Baltimore in there, the Patriots. Now they're going to need a cornerback because J.C. Jackson's going to be with the Chargers. So right now, I think you just got to wait until Bradbury gets moved, and then you could see, okay, what money do we have now, and what moves can we make? Um, but it's okay. Again, we're watching this from the stands, and there's no problem with that whatsoever. Um, I'm actually happy with how free agency is going so far.
Right. I don't know if a kicker or a punter's been signed by anybody.
I don't think so either, to be
No,
honest with
Austin
you.
Eckler.
I mean, who
True.
cares?
Well,
Kicking the
we
bucket.
did sign a punter,
We
and
did,
I'm fine with Gano. Yeah, we got two Ganos now on the team, a lineman and a kicker.
but
Uh,
you know what? At the same time, it had to have happened because we were going to cut Riley Dixon anyways to save that money. So it was definitely going
thank
to
you,
happen.
thank you for dropping links, man. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, not a problem, bro.
Judah, hit squad, my Pisano. Yeah, that's hit squad.
Yes, sir. I'm here at the top right.
That's right.
I just saw that Mac is back. Hey, yo, what's good,
Yes,
Mac?
What's
I
going
just
on, man? I've been having
Mac.
technical difficulties, man.
okay. So it's not just
You
me.
and
All
me.
right, I feel a little bit better now.
No,
I'm not
I'm
gonna
having
lie.
I'm having some issues as well, and I haven't been saying anything because I'm like I'm sure the guys will tell me, but I've been having some issues too, man. It's
But
pouring where I live at, and my
are
Wi-Fi's being
there
booty.
any any good like middle tier linebackers out there on the market that you guys might got your eyes on? Like, because I feel like we could use some good some depth at linebackers, some good rotational guys uh, to bring in, and I figure there may be a couple of guys out on the market. If you guys had your eye on any of them.
Well, for right now, we just kind of answered that because Gamer Boy asked us, who do you think we're going to sign next? I really think, Mac, it's going to depend on if we can get rid of Galladay and Bradbury. I think we're going to have to free up some money somehow to even look for anybody. So, I mean, I want some more linemen or a tight end, either or. Those are the guys that I'm looking for right now. And with what's going on today,
Spectrum.
Gamer Boy. Oh my God, my
Hey yo,
Spectrum, I love it.
Spectrum is playing worse than damn near our offensive line was last year. Jesus Christ,
Right,
man.
right. I mean, my draft has changed around a lot with what's going on right now because I'm
Oh
expecting more
yeah.
linemen to fall. I really am. I'm expecting a lot more linemen to fall down the depth of the draft board.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
at 5, I mean, I'm still going to want a Quanu and then trade the number 7 pick is what I'm thinking right now. That's right now. Once today ends and we discuss things over the next couple of days, because I'll be live tonight at 9:30 for my mockumentary, and then Lou on G Nation will be live tomorrow night at 9:30 for the Giants Cave, and then Pat will be live Wednesday night on Big Pat Sports Talk, where we do the True Big Blue podcast. So make sure you tune into all three of us. We have guests all the time. Hit Squad is a great video content creator. So is Mac,
Thank
Taj.
you,
Make
thank
sure you
you.
sign these guys all up too. Subscribe, ring that bell, get notified. We're always working together. We're always doing something. Talking Giants football, basketball, hockey. Hell, I mean, we might even call a rugby game or two. We got some rugby fans in here. I'd love to. I'd love to be educated on that game. And ooh, that's tough as nails.
But right there, what Authentic said in the chat about Galladay, I agree 100% with that comment, man. That's an aberration, man. Last season, my eyes don't lie, and I've seen Kenny Galladay play his whole damn career, and last year is an aberration, man. You can't convince me that this guy's game just fully on regressed to that level, and that's who he is all of a sudden now. I don't believe it. I believe it was just complete just 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 us being a very bad football team a year ago. Everything wasn't going right, and this I think after what we invested in him, we need to see him come back, and you know what I mean, and get them receipts, man. Get let him do what we brought him here to do.
Exactly, exactly. And Joel, could you do me a favor? Could you highlight Authentic's comment? I thought this was a really good comment.
The Galladay comment.
Yes, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do look at last year as a fluke. I mean, not just Galladay, but our wide receivers, we could not create separation. Really, our only downfield target was John Ross, who I've been saying I want the Giants to bring back. I think that last year was a fluke for Kenny Galladay. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I know that the injuries are there. I know that he kind of gave up towards the later half of the year. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't like my players giving up, but I really can't blame them. We were
Right.
not scoring touchdowns. We didn't have a QB that could throw
But look at
a
the
damn
system he
ball.
was.
No
Yeah,
scheme.
e-
No offense. No
Look at
exactly.
the system.
design.
And you got to imagine, or I mean, you got to imagine that Dable and Kafka are going to scheme these guys open. You got to imagine that he's going to be able to use Galladay to the best of his abilities. I mean, I
We
know a lot
actually
of
get to.
people. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And we actually get to, yeah, not only that, with that, we actually get to see what the potential of DJ is.
Yeah,
Well,
very
th-
true. Very
breaking, the
true.
Texans have claimed former White Cowboys cornerback Reggie Robinson off of waivers. Robinson was a 2020 fourth round pick out of Tulsa.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and you know what? Let's be honest here. Because I want to really just go on this Galladay thing.
Okay.
I think that when you look at him as a player, I know a lot of people say he's that 50-50 ball guy, and I get that he is. But when you look at him as a wide receiver over there with Detroit, there were times that they didn't have, Matthew Stafford throwing the ball. and Galladay was still productive. He was still going out there making big plays. I really do think that if you can address this O line, and if we could see, I keep saying this, and it may not be the proper verbiage, but if we could see a modern offense, because we didn't see that last year with fucking Jason Garrett. Excuse me, Joel. I apologize for cursing.
Yeah.
But if we can get a modern play caller and someone that could call anything besides fucking stick routes and curl routes, I think that you'll
Bullshit.
see a better product on the field from our wide receivers,
Or get
especially Kenny Galladay.
or get mad when your quarterback calls an audible.
Exactly. And you know what? And he did beef with Garrett week 2. And that tells you a lot, because I remember when that clip came out, the media, fans were thinking that he was yelling at Daniel Jones.
Right.
You and then we saw later half in the year when Jason Garrett got fired and they asked him how he felt about it. He really didn't hide how he felt.
Right.
And to me that says so much, man. So for me, I don't and look, NYG 22, I get what you're saying. Um he may not fit this offense. Um, Going forward, at least, he may not fit this offense. But I think for the time being, for this year, maybe even next year, if they decide not to cut him next year, get the most out of you can out of this player. And you got to hope that he stays healthy. You got to hope that a lot of these players stay healthy. We can't predict injuries, but Jesus Christ, something's got to change. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the turf. I don't know if it's them overworking these players. Because Joe Judge kind of like to do that. I have no idea. I'm not no damn doctor, but I mean I'm a cannabis doctor. But besides the point, I'm no doctor. So we got to see, man. But
Right.
I definitely don't disagree with what you're saying, NYG 22. I don't think that Galladay is the long term answer here at wide receiver, but while he is here, I think that he can be a productive player, and I think that he could be a nice security blanket for Daniel Jones. But we don't know until this kid could get an offensive line
Personally, I
and
think
and stand up.
Galladay is the kind of player you can find a way to make work just because of what he just brings to the table with his physical tools in general. I think he's just a guy you can find a way to make it work with somebody like that. I mean, that's just my opinion on him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we can find a way to make it work with him, man. It's just that system. It didn't look like he had like no motivation at all under the coaching staff we had.
but at the same time, again, I mean, you look at this scheme. This scheme was goddamn terrible. This scheme was
Yeah,
atrocious. I mean, Sterling Shepard. I mean, I think you can make an argument outside of Kadarius Tony, which even then I still may take
Right.
Shepard was our best route runner last year. There's no secret there, and I know that that doesn't say much, but we weren't creating separation. We weren't scheming our guys open. Evan Ingram is dropping balls left and right. So is
and
Darius
he was in
Slayton.
his thing he likes.
Yeah, so it's like,
Brendan Braden to the Broncos.
oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I saw that one. Oh,
It's gonna be, man. I'm really, if anything, I'm very excited for the
man,
draft, but
guys,
nah,
look at the offense when we had Ross on that crossing route. Look what we did with Rudolph on that crossing route. When they actually went out there and ran routes and schemed it right for the guys that we had, we made huge plays.
it's true.
But then all of a sudden we'd run it twice and run a curl route, 3rd and 8.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
I agree with you, man.
I mean, hey man, that all comes down to
But
coaching.
it's it's me and Pat went over it before too. Look, it's more than just DJ. It's more than the offensive line. It's more than the coaches.
Yeah, his
You
scheme
know,
is adaptive, Coach
it's
Ed.
more. It's everything,
Yep.
but it's not anything. If you get my meaning,
Yeah.
you have to go and start from the top down in this offense and break it all completely down, and then start right at the bottom and the bottom is who's on the team right now. Okay, what do we need to make it better? So now you got to get some guys in here. You got to get some bodies in here, camp bodies. Somehow we got to get a 90-man roster in here. I'm trying to figure out how the hell we're doing that. You think about it. How are we going to get a 90-man roster in here when we only have 53 right now? We
No, I
have
mean
no
I get what you're
money.
saying. I get
You
what you're
know,
saying.
so guys, so now we got to get 90 in here. And out of that 90, we got to take the best 53. And then we got some guys on the practice squad. So looking at big picture, how many of these guys are going to be undrafted free agents?
I mean, nah. I mean, and
Three,
I get what you're saying. Yeah, probably three, maybe
three,
four.
four, right in there.
That's
You
where I
know,
would see it at.
you know, so we still have no depth.
Yep, and we
No,
in certain positions we do lack depth, and that we have to address them. And I think that we will. Like, I'll be honest with you. I know that some fans are kind of worried, if we do trade Dexter Lawrence, that we're not going to have depth at the defensive tackle position. But for me, when I look at the Giants in recent years, they've never really had an issue addressing that defensive tackle position. So for me, I'm not too I know that they'll get that situated. For me, I'm more worried about this offensive line. I'm worried about who we get at edge rusher personally. I like Jerome Henderson as a coach. I like what he did with our young pups at the cornerback position.
right.
Even
Yes,
when
coach, I
Bradbury
agree.
was down and the Dory Jackson, we had players step up and they were relatively productive. Aaron
Yes.
Robinson, he's a player that I'll be honest with you. I have no problem saying this. I was not a fan of the signing when we drafted him. I was not a fan at all. I wanted us to get an offensive guard. But I've come around to it because I look at the production that we got from him. And honestly, I think that even with trading Bradbury, we're still, I mean, that's a ding to this defense. I'm not going to act like it isn't, but I think that, these young pups can really thrive in Wink's defense. And that doesn't say that we're not going to go out there and address that in free agency or in the draft. But, there's some talent here.
But you're right. But here's the thing, though, is a lot of people are gun shy because that's what Judge said. Don't tell me what they can't do. Tell me what they can do so
I
we can
get
build
that.
off
Yeah.
that. So people are still really gun shy from that saying. And it sounds good, but we're sick and tired of getting what they call lip service. We want to see
Hmm.
results. We want to
Well,
see action. We
that's
want to see
exactly it.
better play. We want to see
Yeah.
improvement. We want to see a design, a scheme, a pattern, a way forward instead of stick one thumb in your butt, one in your mouth, and switch. Okay. Because
Yeah.
that's basically been the New York Giants the last 5 seasons, which is why DJ gets caught into it so much, why Barkley gets caught into it so much. And it's because everybody is frustrated because whatever can go wrong will go wrong. And that's Murphy's Law. Not an issue until it's an issue. Bad defensive tackle play trickles down to the linebackers. Yeah, it does. I also don't good chemistry with Jones either. Shep or Slayton.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, that was his first year with Daniel Jones, and the scheme didn't really help him either. There are also times that Daniel Jones I felt underthrew Kenny Galladay, so I don't think that he's free of criticism either. But and I'm not gonna act like Jones and Slayton's connection and chemistry isn't a real thing. It is. They balled out both their rookie years,
Well,
when Daniel Jones targeted Slayton. But at the same time, I still feel that the Giants have to address the wide receiver position.
I do too. And I feel that Tony was starting to build some chemistry with Daniel Jones also.
I agree, and I think that he's going to continue to grow chemistry with Daniel Jones. Same with Kenny Galladay, but it's going to take time. Um,
Right.
Actually, some breaking news, real quick. This was
Ooh.
actually like I want to say about 7 minutes ago, but Carlton Davis, the cornerback for the Bucks, agreed on a 3-year, $45 million deal to keep him in Tampa Bay.
Oh man,
Oh,
listen, okay,
wow.
so what if we get a third and a fifth for Bradbury now?
I mean,
Ooh.
Shit,
I
we
don't
get
know
a
if we get
third.
a
If we get a
fifth, but I
third,
think
hold
a
on
third.
now.
I would
Well,
be okay with the third if a team is desperate enough. Maybe a late
who's
second, but I see
who's
a
left
third.
out there?
Ain't
Uh,
nobody gonna be that desperate. I think his squad,
I
man.
don't think so
I
either.
don't see nobody's gonna
I
be
don't
that
think
desperate.
so either. Because you look at the
Man,
cornerback market, you still got Stephon Gilmore, you still got Casey Hayward, you still got Deontay Jackson, you got Travarius Ward, who I think the Giants may bring in. But to me, I think outside of Stephon Gilmore and maybe Casey Hayward, um, I got to be honest with you. I think that Bradbury is I think that he's solid for a third round pick. I think that teams that need cornerbacks, again, like the Patriots, Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Bengals, the Ravens. There are teams out there that I feel may offer a third round pick. And if you're telling me that we're gonna have three third round picks, you may be able to package them up for a second round pick.
oh
Whether
yes.
those are two of those third rounders, whether you trade all three, which I wouldn't want to do personally, but you'll be able to have the ammunition. And even if you don't trade back, trade those up for a higher pick, you have three third rounders there. Those are pieces that you can fill in that you may need going into the season, whether that's another linebacker, whether that's a corner or another tight end, or let's say they do double up at tight end in this draft. They could do that and still take a wide receiver. So I really honestly that's what I'm waiting for. I really want to see where Bradbury gets moved to and how much he gets moved for. I agree with you, Mac. I don't see a team giving up a second. The only way I see that happening is if we trade Bradbury and like a pick with Bradbury and we get a second round pick. But even then, I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, like I said, you never know. I mean, we're looking at A money for B talent. Bradbury's not B talent. So
Yeah, and you know
I
what? I know that
and
he had a down year last year, but you're still getting a solid player.
and not only that, you only need two teams for a bidding war.
Yep. And Eric, look, I'll be honest with you. If I'm the Giants, I'm not taking a fourth round pick. I look, I'll be honest with you. I love Gilmore as
Bradbury
a
a fourth
player, but Gilmore is getting up there in age.
No
In my
way.
opinion, Casey Hayward again. If you're looking at him from the perspective of him and Bradbury, I would rather take Bradbury. If I'm the Giants with J.C.
Yep.
Jackson signing, with Carlton Davis signing, Bradbury's contract isn't looking too bad, in
Yep.
my opinion, and I think
It,
that you can move him for
Yeah.
a third round pick. And the Chiefs, man. Look, the Chiefs are now in a division that is stacked at wide receiver. You don't think that they're not going to need, cornerback talent or cornerback help, excuse me? They're not in a position in the first round where one of those high end talents are going to be there, a Stingley, a Sauce Gardner, where they're selecting at. So I could see them trading if they are desperate enough, a second round pick, maybe even a third. But there's going to be teams in the next coming days that are going to call for Bradbury. I wouldn't even be shocked if we moved him today. I don't see it happening, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't either. And Timaj is right here. There's not enough cap space to do anything but wait for Bradbury to get traded or restructured. He's
Yeah,
right.
and look, I'll throw in another team that could look at James Bradbury, the Tennessee Titans. I know that they had Jack Rabbit over there, but that was their number one last year. And I'm sorry, Jack Rabbit took a step back last year, a pretty
Yes.
big step back. And
Yes.
with Vrabel, I get it. You're in a division that you've dominated it since you became their coach over there. I get that. But it just seems that they're constantly trying to figure out the cornerback position over there. I know that they selected a first round talent last year. I think was it Caleb Farley they signed last year, 2000 in the first round. I could be wrong, but I think it was Caleb Farley. So for me, that's another team that you could potentially look at. So there are teams
Oh,
that are going
yes.
to need cornerback help. I'll be honest with you. I would call the Bengals. What are you going to rely on Eli Apple? How did that look for you last year in the Super Bowl? Nah, man, come on. There's going to be some teams up there that are going to offer a third round pick at minimum, in my opinion, for James
That's
Bradbury.
right. Right. I agree with you 100% on that.
But we gonna see. And guess
Yep.
what? Not only are we gonna see, but you guys already know where you can find this information at. It'll be here. The Big Blue
That's
Crew
right.
got you.
That's right. So
Actually, you
shameless self plug.
can't even entertain anything less than a third round pick for Bradbury, in my opinion, man. Because
Absolutely.
I'm not. You can't get in the business of just giving away your players just because I mean that's all a team's gonna offer you, man. If that's all you got, then I'm gonna hold on to my guy because he's Bradbury's worth more than a fourth round pick, and I can't just give him away like that.
Absolutely.
I'm
You can't
sorry.
just give away players just to give them away because you need money. I get
Right.
that there's a time and place for it, but you're talking about really the only player on your roster
Oh,
right now that
thank
has
you, gamer.
high value.
Take care, man. Thank
Have
you
a
for
good
being
one,
here.
gamer boy. Thank you for stopping by, man. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Um, he did, and I'll be honest with you. You know, Illa, he did play pretty well from them last year. But I think that we can all agree, maybe even you yourself, Illa, that Bradbury is a big upgrade over Eli Apple. And I get it; he played solid for them, and I get that Coop does that to everyone.
Yep.
But that boy get burnt. That boy gets burnt more
Boy.
than toast. If we being real, and I don't think that Eli Apple is your long term answer over there for Cincy.
I'm better than
And
Eli Apple.
shit,
Ugh.
I mean, I'll tell you this much, man. There's gonna be teams that call in for James Bradbury. It's
and,
it's, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm telling
and
you.
listen, I hate to say it, but the longer the Giants sit on him, the better for the Giants.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I
Right.
said they're in a good position right now.
Right. Even though the teams know they need to get rid of him, there's no rush to do it right now because
Yep.
there's not anybody on the market that we're striving for, that we got to have, that, we're in a desperate bidding war to get. And you know what? It's good to sit here finally as a Giants fan and not have the Giants brought up in a bidding contest with another team. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of tired of it because we always
Yeah.
get burnt by it.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
You know? Well, they wanted Mitch, but he went to Pittsburgh, and they're still in talks. They want a mobile quarterback, but then Bridgewater went to Miami, so there's two off the board. So who are they going to look at now?
You got plenty of
Mariota.
time. Let the
I
market
mean,
That
cool
look.
down a little bit. Let the market cool down a little bit on that anyway.
right,
I'll be
right.
on.
Got
I'll be honest with you. Another player, if we could move Bradbury, since they want to spend money, let's see what Jacksonville's trying to do. They got two. Let me check here. I think they got two third rounders already. Yeah, so
Ooh,
they got two. They got the 65, and then they got the 70 pick. I wouldn't mind moving Bradbury for that 70th pick because I know they're not going to trade the 65 pick. So if you tell, and we pick at 67. So you telling me we have two early third round picks? I wouldn't have a problem with that because then right after that, the Giants have. I'm gonna double check right now. Give me one moment. Yeah, and then right after that, we have the 81st pick. So, I mean, that's a team that I would look at. Again, if you make a trade with a team like the Seattle Seahawks, they got the 72 pick. If you look at a team like the Baltimore Ravens, they got the 76 pick. I mean, for me, man, I mean, I'm really looking at the third round at minimum. And again, if you're the Chiefs, if you give up a second round pick, that's the 62nd overall pick. So pretty much an early third round pick, if you really want to be technical about it. So for
right.
me, I mean, is that a possibility if you trade Bradbury and let's say a fifth rounder? Would you turn that down? I don't think I would. I'm not banking on it, but I don't think I would. And I agree with you, Eric Davis and Illa. I actually, excuse me, and Cressley. I would not mind Mariota. I wouldn't mind Tyrod Taylor. I think that Mariota personally would fit this offense a little bit better, just for mobility's sake. And I like how he takes care of the ball. But I mean, we're gonna see. I don't know if the Giants
I
go out there and make a big splash at quarterback too.
I still haven't seen the structured contract from Trubisky, but I'll bet you it's 13
yeah.
mil a year.
Yeah, it
They
hasn't
just keep
came
saying
out
he
yet.
signed a 2 year deal.
Yeah,
They
it
just keep
has to
saying
be
he signed
more
a
than
2 year
that.
deal. They weren't
Right.
Yeah,
putting any details on the contract up there.
It,
yeah,
it has to be more than 10 mil. I know that.
yeah.
No, they never talk about us. We got no money. So,
Well, we haven't given them anything to talk about us, so there's no reason for them to be talking about us. Other
yeah,
people
that
are
is
making
true.
other people are
Yeah,
making splash moves right now. We're quiet. There's nothing to talk about.
yeah, exactly. And again, if we're just looking to trade players just to trade players, I think that that's not within the Giants' best interest. I think that right now you're in a prime position to where you can get a third round pick for a player that's eating up a lot of your cap. Um, and again, I think it's more likely than not that he will get moved within the next day or two. I think the Giants, and I agree with you, Joel, they have to be patient. Um, not too patient, but patient enough to where they can get the most out of the
Right.
Bradbury contract.
Yeah, that'd be little bit too much, Cressley.
Yeah, I
That would
think that
be
would
too
be
much.
way too much. I mean, maybe for Bozeman and a fifth rounder, maybe maybe a sixth round pick, but
Right.
I don't see a second or a third round pick.
I'll be right back. Hold it down for me.
No problem. Um, Yeah, I agree with you, MYG22. He says, I think Bradbury is solid, but I let him go for a third, nothing less. They could bring Bradbury back either way. I think we're good at cornerback. I wouldn't take on the first, regardless if Bradbury is traded. Look, I agree with you. I've been saying I don't want any of these corners in the first round. I know not to say that they're not talented, not to say that they wouldn't be very good for us. And I actually wouldn't be surprised if they took a corner in the first round. But for me, I'm not trading Bradbury for less than a third round pick. I can't. I think that despite Bradbury having what we would consider an off season last year, I still thought that he played pretty well last year.
People
I
keep
really
saying he
think
had
he
an off
did.
season. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off
You're
like that,
good.
but
You're good, man.
people keep saying he had an off season, but he had still had a pretty decent year overall. I mean, he
Nah,
had some
but
struggles.
we ain't had
He
no
had some,
pass rush at first. That's
I mean, he
why.
had some struggles early on. You know what I mean? Couple dropped interceptions, couple but things like that sort. But overall, he still made some big plays most of the year. I think what people just keep saying he had an off season because it didn't look as dynamic as as his first year here with the Giants. I mean, but
Exactly.
it
Exactly.
didn't appear to look as dynamic. But actually, when you really peel back the layers and look at that tape, Bradbury still had a pretty productive year for us, and that's why. Like just like you got gentlemen just said, man, like New York Giant 22 said, and like you just said, hit nothing less than a three, man. You can't just go giving our players away, man. Like just for nothing,
Yeah,
man, for
I'm
peanuts,
not
man.
giving up James Bradbury for a fourth. I'm
And
not.
and,
Nah,
and look,
nothing.
and not to cut y'all off, I apologize for cutting y'all off.
Okay.
Um, but I want to say this much, right? I think when people look want to say that Bradbury had an off season last year, which I mean, compared to his 2020 season, sure he did. But we also got to remember that they were trying to do a man defense in the beginning of the year, and that just was not working because we couldn't get to the cornerback. You know,
We
there
don't
was
have. Yeah, we don't have pass rush.
Right.
Exactly. So there was games. You look at the Dallas game. You look at when we played Washington, where Bradbury is getting burnt. But then you see that they go back to that bend but don't break defense, where they're doing more zone, less than they are with man. And Bradbury looked how he was playing last year, almost. I mean, maybe not as flashy as he was in 2020, but I still thought that he had a relatively productive year last year, despite us not having a pass rush, despite us switching our defense from a
Uh,
man defense to back to a zone defense, like we did going into the later half of the season. But yeah, man. For me, I
I
can't give him up for less than a third.
The Steelers are
Yeah,
bringing back offensive tackle Chukwuma Okafor. Sources tell me he had interest elsewhere, but returns to Pittsburgh, where he's manned the right side the last 2 years. So he's off the table.
Yep.
And then Cresley says, would y'all have Bradbury for a third or second, or Bradbury for depth piece and a fifth? I'd rather have the third or second.
Yeah.
I
Nah.
think I think he's lost his step. I'm not gonna lie. I I worry about
you don't
him
think it was
being.
because of the pass rush though?
No, I think I worry because I don't know if he can do Wink Martindale's system. I mean, look at how much ground they had to cover when me and Pat
I,
broke down that defense.
I think this comment right here, DL and New York Giants comment right there. That's where I'm talking about. That's right on the money. Their defense is on the field way too much last year.
They was
Way
on the
too
field for
much.
way too
Yes.
It's
long.
just so many unsuccessful offensive drives. This defense was just on the field way too
Because the
much,
offense
and that
couldn't do
and
shit.
absolutely gassed every single game. I
Offense
mean,
couldn't do
most games our defense will play well enough in the first half at least to keep us in most games, and the offense couldn't do anything ever to the point by second half the defense is just they finally worn down. So that's another thing. We got to get our offensive system where we can sustain drives, give our defense a blow, and let them come out there and
Right.
continue to make plays.
Made the Pro Bowl. No, I'm not saying he's a scrub. I said I'm not sure how he's going to work in Martindale's system with the way that Martindale likes to do exotics. Does he have the speed still to, cover that 20-yard area that he's going to be required to? Because, I mean, if he misses or he doesn't get back there in time, that's a touchdown. So, I mean, I'd love to see it because it'd be a less worry. I'd love to see him be better. That's a team that needs. Yeah, Pittsburgh does. Want to look at the defense? I think that's all he had control of. I think Joe Judge, when it comes to the offense, I think that was all on Garrett, and he could run to Mara and say, "Judge just pressured me."
I mean, but I thought that Joe Judge just had like approval of of the offense, the defense, and the special teams. I thought he had approval of everything,
Right.
which is why he'd be like green lighting the game plans.
So the NBA fined the Brooklyn Nets for letting him sit in the stands, huh?
Yeah, which to me makes no sense, man. I mean, y'all
Get
know
out
I'm
of
a
here.
big Nets fan. Me and Jeffrey, we're the big Nets fan and the big blue crew. To me, it makes no sense. I mean, that's a whole other conversation, but to me, it makes no sense why he's getting fined when I mean, dude was literally in the stands watching the game, but he couldn't play. Makes no sense to me.
Jesus. I've been watching that a little bit. Now, drives me
Oh,
nuts.
here,
Politics.
I got another breaking news here.
Uh-oh.
The Seattle Seahawks signed Will Dissly to a 3-year, $24 million deal. It includes a $15.98 million in total guarantees and a $9.3 million signing bonus per source. Now, it's going to be up to $510,000 as his annual roster bonus. And when you break that down, that's $30,000 per game. So that's not too bad for Seattle, man.
No, it's not. Because now they got what? Fant and him?
Yeah. Now they have Fant in them over there, which is, I mean, that's a nice tight end duo right there. On top of that, I mean, you still got DK Metcalf. You still have Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
You can't. I'm sorry. You can't roll with Drew Lock.
I was
You
just going to go
cannot
there.
roll with Drew Lock, man.
I was-
Go get yourself a fucking quarterback.
I was
Stop
just
it.
going to go there. How about Jimmy
Yeah.
Garoppolo in Seattle? How about Jimmy G in Seattle?
I wouldn't be opposed to
We
it.
With
I
played
don't think they
Seattle
would
this year.
really
Too. I
do
hope they run
anything.
with Drew Lock.
I gotta be honest with
We
you.
play.
I don't think they do anything, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Jimmy G is gonna be an Indianapolis Colt.
I'll tell you,
Look,
you know,
I'm pretty sure Drew Lock's not the long term answer for Seattle. I'm pretty sure he's not he's not in their future plans, but I'm pretty sure that they made sure he was included in this trade because they want to just go ahead and go with him this year at the very least. I mean, he does have some limit. He does have some starting experience. I mean, he's Drew Lock. I mean, it hasn't been impressive, but at the same time, I feel like that's the only reason why he was included in the deal is because they just plan on at least rolling with him for this year.
there's rumors Deshaun Watson to Seattle too.
I gotta say,
He's
I
getting ready to
want
go on his
Deshaun.
tour. Deshaun Watson's ready to go on his little tour and interview with teams and see pretty much kind of decide which ones he will accept a trade to. So we'll see. No, he's going to be visiting Carolina and New Orleans the next couple of days, I believe.
I want him in a Saints uniform, man. I really want him in a Saints uniform.
Man, shout out to the consistent 30 people watching, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Like, subscribe, ring that bell. So glad you could spend a Monday afternoon with us during the tempering period of free agency, finding out what's going on, getting the lowdown here on. We're trying to break it as we come across it, talking about all the different teams, what these trades are doing for them teams. If you got a comment, question, whatever, go ahead, drop in the chat, man. I'm highlighting them all. Man, we ain't avoiding anybody. Welcome to the show. Subscribe to all these guys. Mac the Giants fan, Hit Squad, Taj. Links are in the chat. G Nation. He'll be popping on here soon. Big Pat Sports Talk, who is right now. I know he's got the stream on. He's calling a semi-pro basketball game for the first time.
Let's go.
Bro, congratulations. I am
Let's go,
hoping
Big Pat.
you
Let's
have
go,
the
man.
time of your life tonight, man. And then at 9:30, I'll be live again because we'll be doing the New York Giant, the mockumentary of the 2022 NFL Draft, where we get a little wild. What teams, we saw last night on Pat's channel how different a draft really could be. So that's what, look, Kyle Hamilton fell from all the way to 19 last night in that mock draft. Yeah. And that was one of those drafts where people could go in and they could pick a player for their team. Mm-hmm. So it was not all computer generated. Some of those picks were people that went in and said, okay, I'm a Texas fan. This is who I want. So it just threw everybody for a loop all night because guys fell to the second round. We're like, how the hell are these still there?
Yeah.
Karlaftis fell to 44. Yes, thank you, Big Fridge. So, man, make sure you tune in tonight and join us for that. And then Pat's going to describe how his night went tonight the minute he gets out of work. He's definitely.
You said Karlaftis fell to 44.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
dude.
We
watch
did a
that
mock
last night. That was something.
Jesus Christ, man. Shit.
Yeah.
But Joe, I gotta jump off real quick. I'm gonna be in the comments, but I appreciate you having me on, man. For real. Thank you.
Man, thank you for being here. You made this stream great. I love the everything that you brought. It's fire, man. Go sub up to this guy, Hit Squad. Man, he's got some great videos, great content.
Thank you.
Puts in the work just like the rest of us, man.
I appreciate that, man. I love working with y'all. Y'all already know this is the Big Blue Crew. Anytime you guys need any content, whether that's for NFL, wrestling, whether MMA, I mean, we got you covered here. Shit, I'm about to, just to cover it more, I'm about to learn baseball and damn near hockey. We gonna have you guys covered, man.
Thank you so much, Ka-chow. I do greatly appreciate that. I really do.
That would be awesome, Ka-chow.
Taking your time to put this into something, man. Thank you. I can't, man.
You guys make it so much fun.
Man, that's just so much emotions going through right now. People doing this, man. Yep. The Big Blue Crew, we're always striving to do something different, better, to keep you guys entertained because you guys are taking so much time out of your day to just be with us.
Yep, absolutely.
Man, thank you.
Absolutely. But look, I'm gonna be on your stream later, Joel.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be in the comments here. I just gotta take this call, and I don't know how long this call is gonna be.
Hey, man, if you want to be on the side, go ahead. You're always welcome back.
Not a problem, man. I got the link if anything, bro.
Yes, but you do. I'll look for you.
Thank you. Again, y'all sub up to these guys. Y'all go check out Big Pat Sports, G Nation, Classified Joel. They got you covered. We all got you covered here, man. I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you. All right, Hit.
All right, see you, Hit.
Wait, one more before I leave.
Uh-oh.
Breaking news. Jacksonville Jaguars are signing Evan Ingram to a 1-year deal.
Yes, he is officially gone.
Let's go.
Thank you. Go drop passes in Jacksonville, Evan Ingram. Go let passes bounce off your hands in Jacksonville.
All right.
Thank you. No longer our problem.
Oh my god!
Let's go. It's one deal. It's a 1-year deal with a max value of $10 million. That's insane. I mean, look, I'm glad
No
I was able
longer
to
our
break that
problem.
before I
Thank
leave.
you.
But Jesus Christ. And look, highlight GOS's comment right underneath that because he's speaking facts. The Jags will continue to suck. You
Nah,
are
nah, nah,
absolutely right,
nah,
GOS.
nah, nah, nah,
Man, I got to
nah.
answer this question because I like all the Oreos. I'm not going to lie. Double stuff, chocolate, vanilla, in milk. It has to be in milk, though, and it gets soft and squishy and then right to the mouth.
I'll be honest, before I leave, I will answer your question, GOS. For me, I am not an Oreo fan, but my favorite milkshake are Oreo milkshakes. Make it make sense.
Oh, you
So,
wanna know? I just realized we play the Jaguars this year too.
Yes.
okay, that's fine. McKinney's gonna lock up Evan Ingram. I'm putting money on
Oh my god!
it.
McKinney's going to get 3 interceptions off
I
that friggin' guy. You watch.
Jesus. Hey man, y'all listen. I'm a step away,
Man,
but
but
y'all are in good
he
hands,
only got
man.
Yes.
9 million though.
What
9 million.
happened? Evan Ingram got signed by the Jaguars.
Damn, bro, only 9 million.
Yeah.
Damn.
Joel threw all of us a few years ago. All winning teams always refuse to lose at any cost, and they all play with their hearts to win. Yep. Cop out. Well, it's not a cop out. I love all Ingram. I love all Oreos. There's not a bad
so
Oreo.
happy.
Deep fried
happy Evan
Oreos
Ingram's
are
gone.
absolutely delicious. Yes,
So-
no more Ingram.
So Ingram is
Schefter?
now officially all the way gone, and what you think we going? What do you think we going to really get prepared to do at the tight end position now? Because we clearly do need to address that position.
Again, Bradbury has to be moved. What's going to happen with Galladay? Is he going to get restructured at all? Is he going to take a pay cut? We're somehow going to have to get one in free agency. We have Mayork on the roster right now. If we got 2 3-round picks, I could definitely see us getting 2 tight ends in the draft. Because, I mean, the top 10 tight ends, they're all kind of close and similar together. What we get for him? Not a damn thing. He
I couldn't believe
he
he only got 9 million. Bro. Like, that's not wow.
We got less turnovers. That's what we got.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
We won't have balls bouncing off our tight ends' hands and in the middle of
Right.
the field, getting turned into interceptions
Right.
constantly.
Bench for O'Shaughnessy. Yeah, exactly. GOS. Kolar and Woods. Yes. Yes.
Hopefully
he
after
gone.
hopefully after
gone.
next offseason, if he balls out, he'll get a bag somewhere. But damn, 9 million? Shit, damn.
Well, I guess he better change his Facebook or Twitter account because he was looking for a bag of money and he didn't get
all jokes aside, though. All jokes aside, I wish this kid the best of luck. Maybe he can get his career back on track somewhere else. Maybe, but I was tired of him. He's not our headache anymore. He can go drop passes somewhere else in Jacksonville. Good riddance.
Nah.
No, we didn't have him under contract, coach. So it was just he completely walked away. $10 million, 1-year deal.
So we don't get nothing.
You might get a 6th compensatory pick for him. It depends on the tight end that we bring in. Because if that's a $10 million deal, if we sign a tight end for 2 years, $15 million, I think that affects it to where we might not even get a comp pick. Somehow it works out. Whereas if you let a guy walk at that position, he gets a bag of money, but you don't sign anybody to replace him, that's when you get the higher compensatory picks. But if you let him walk and then resign that position for just under or over, there's no compensatory pick in there. And I'm not exactly 100% sure how that works. But I do know that the money's involved to the position.
Oh, there goes another weapon for old Sunshine.
Right. Hey, Tyrod Taylor could throw him the ball. For all I care, down there in Miami, they can go practice. Right? Just go away. 5th round comp pick you just saw, Cressley? Okay, then I wasn't far off when I said 6th. But I get it. But it's better than having him sit there on the damn team constantly knocking the
more than the rest of that
freaking ball up in the air. But I'm going to agree with Mac. I do. I hope he can resurrect his career. I want hope for everybody. I mean, my God, you made it to the NFL. I want to see everybody make it. The NFL stands for not for long because usually you only get a 3-year career.
One thing I also don't want to see, New York Giant fans, New York Giant Nation, if in the event that Evan Ingram goes down to Jacksonville and absolutely balls out, please no regrets. No regrets.
Right.
He didn't get it done here. He didn't get it done while he was here. So be it. If he's getting it done down there, then so be it. That's just what it is. He was not getting the job done here. He was causing nothing but heartache and pain in New York. So if in the event that he does go down there and shows off, just please no regrets. Nobody talking about, oh, we should have kept him. We should have signed him back.
No.
None of that. Please don't.
No.
No one start talking like that.
Now, I will say there were some people that really did want to re-sign him or give him a 1-year prove-it deal. There were people out there that did that.
He only got $10 million.
But let's remember all the fans at Giant Stadium that booed him when he dropped the ball.
Yeah.
I would have left too. So, stupid for saying Trevor Lawrence is going to suck. Where's the tank crowd at? Yeah, I'm not a fan of Trevor Lawrence either, GOS. Something there.
I mean, I'm not going to go that far. I'm not like I'm a super Trevor Lawrence guy, but at the same time, I think he got dealt a raw hand last year and a bad hand. So I would like to see if he can live up to any of that hype. I mean, like I said, he needs some much better weapons in there. That whole running back situation a year ago was crazy. You had the guy Robinson that was already on the roster, had a great year a couple of seasons ago, and for some reason you don't want to play this guy. I didn't understand what was going on with Jacksonville. Like I said, the organization's just a mess. But I'm willing to see they can put some weapons around Trevor Lawrence and see what he can really do, man. Because that kid did come out with a lot of hype.
Yeah, he did. He did. I saw something in his college game where I just saw a lot of dink and dunk, and you never saw the deep throws at Clemson, but that's the way they run their offense. You get the ball in their playmakers' hands, they make a play and score. So, I mean, let's see. Cressley wants to know Watson to Panthers or Saints. Either or right now. Right now, either or.
And don't you come back no more.
My question with the Panthers was like, if he goes to the Panthers, what would they have to give up to acquire him exactly? As far as they have to give up some draft picks, obviously, but what would they have to give up as far as personnel, maybe too? Especially given that Russell Wilson trade, man, that sets the bar somewhere else, man. And I think they're going to be seeking more for Deshaun Watson than Denver gave up for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Eric, 5th round so far. So far, Wood. Ingram's a rare species. Runs as fast as a cheetah, hops around better than a kangaroo, and can't catch a ball with alligator hands.
Yeah, I can't wait to play that. Now I can't wait to play the Jaguars. Now he's there.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, I agree. That first play was Brian Burns probably. So the Lions. Oh, that was 8 hours ago. Okay. The Tupertage, he texted that out there too. All right, Johnny Vulnerable. 14 minutes ago, per McCain on NFL. Hey, this guy's got a blue check mark next to his name. Is this a fake account?
What?
He's got a blue check mark next to his name, but he's only got 7,000 followers and 2,000 following. Johnny Venerable,
What do you say?
Arizona beat reporter, co-host of. Well, it says here that Deshaun Watson has rejected the Seahawks.
Oh.
So I don't know if this is a true account or not, but it's got a blue check mark. Oh, hey, there we go. There's my partner in crime.
Hey guys, just heard the Evan Ingram news.
Yeah, Big Pat. Yeah, we was just celebrating that a little bit.
No Joe was happy.
Right. Yes.
I know.
I'm ecstatic.
I know.
Shoot, on my way to go call this damn game. But I just wanted to tune in for a second, say, man, this is one hell of a stream.
Thank you.
Joe, I think you got up to 41 point. That's what's up with only 314 subscribers. That is dope. This is what the Big Blue Crew does, man. We bring in the news, man, and Evan Ingram is gone.
Not
Hit
yet
the road,
and I will say, good riddance.
We could potentially, yes. It's going to be a later round, 5th, 6th rounder. It depends if we sign somebody.
Yeah, I think the max is a 5th round. I thought we weren't going to get anything, but they're saying a 5th rounder because you only signed a 1-year deal.
So now we got like 10 picks now.
Authentic just said the news on Watson is true.
It's true. Okay. Oh, he declined the Colts too.
So he declined the Colts and who else?
Yeah, he's going to the Saints.
The Seahawks.
And the Seahawks.
So it's either the Saints, it's either the Saints or the Panthers.
Saints or the Panthers.
Your YG said he'll feel his physical will be back. If he feels a physical, he's just a free agent. He can't come back. He's not under contract.
Right.
So we're good.
Yeah.
Road that and no to come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Road that.
So
what you say?
And don't you come back no more.
Well, Pat, since you on here right quick, I'll ask you about the tight end situation now. How do you feel like the Giants are going to approach the tight end situation going forward the rest of this offseason?
They may get a bargain ban free agent during free agency period, and I think we draft one. We also have Rising John too on the roster. A lot of people forget about him. Yeah, we also have Rising John.
Preseason last year.
He actually looked pretty good before he got hurt. So who knows?
He was injured. Yeah,
maybe he can step up.
No, there's no possibility that Watson is coming to the New York Giants.
Hell no.
Nope.
No, it'll be next year's draft, Kevin.
Yeah, it's gonna be next year. Yeah,
it'll be next year's comp picks.
Oh no, I'll get ready to head out. I just wanted to tell Joe congratulations for getting almost 40 people in the chat, man. That's amazing.
Jags are making lots and lots of desperate moves with no logic behind them. Big mistake.
Right. Christian Kirk, 4 years, 84 million.
Yes.
Yes. So he is the highest paid receiver in the league, I think.
And you thought Kenny Galladay was bad, bro?
Yeah, that's right.
How can you make Christian Kirk the highest paid receiver in the league? Do you know what they just did to the receiver market? If he's getting $21 million a year, what is Devontae Adams for the get?
That's what
I was gonna say. And Devontae Adams, by the way, how y'all feel if he refusing to sign that franchise tag? What are the Packers prepared to do now after giving Aaron Rodgers $200 million?
That man needs at least 30.
Right.
Nah, he has to have 30.
Jay Lee, I like that comment. Hey, Evan Ingram. Bye. Lou's watching. So that was for you, Lou.
Hit the road.
But man, the receiver market has just been transcended.
84 million, bro.
I don't know about this one, Cressley. You get Mahomes 2 first-round picks and it's third. I don't know about that one.
Nah.
But look, the Chiefs is a destination for Bradbury though.
Right.
I think they would give us a third.
Bye, Felicia. Oh my God. Bye, 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 bye. Yeah. Rick, what's good, man? Glad you could
Where's
be
the
here.
Nimmer at? I know Nimmer happy because Evan Ingram's gone.
Oh yeah.
Joe, I want to thank you for letting me come on the stream, bro. But I do need to jump off myself, man. I got to get some dinner in me, man, and get myself cleaned up.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Coming on, spending some time, hanging out. Glad you could make it. We haven't talked in a while, and it's a pretty big day. I want to get everybody's input on this.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it. Good luck tonight too, Pat. Good luck on your game too, Pat.
Yep.
Super
Finna head up myself,
man.
Pleasure,
bro.
Good luck, man.
Good luck, man.
He said I sound like Dave Chappelle. But man, Joe, congratulations. Can't wait to come back and do the mockumentary after I get off.
Yes.
So I'm gonna head out and man, keep it going, bro.
Bro, man, you keep it going, man. Have fun tonight. Do your thing. Let the rhythm soothe you. Like
right.
the song.
Yeah, I'll be good.
All right.
Y'all have a good one.
Oh, and then there was 2.
Okay.
I got me a tie. Oh man, no, thank you guys. Thank you. 40 in the chat right now. Like, subscribe. I appreciate y'all being here. I love talking football. Love the comments. I love the crew. I love the people associated. Everybody here, y'all make this. You make this possible. I'm just.
We get a 5th round pick back.
If my internet
Spectrum
freaking holds up, like that, Yep, Spectrum. I got my guy Taj here, so my guy Taj, there we go.
Yeah,
okay, no camera.
Yeah, but we get a 5th rounder back for Evan Ingram.
There, let's see if that helps. Sauce is perfect for that scheme. I believe so. I think he is. Now what are we going to talk about now that Evan Ingram's gone? Oh my God, back on DJ, I guess. I don't know.
We need a real security blanket for Daniel Jones.
Right. Ingram should sell a bread basket on front side of his jersey to make a living in the field. Yeah, there you go. When you cut out Joel, say stay fly. Oh, stay fly. I like that. Stay fly. And C-Fran the man wants to know, you think we'll trade Saquon? If it's the right offer, I can see it. But they're not going to just trade him to trade him. And I'm sure that those discussions. So when Shane come out and said, I want a 1st-round pick, I think he was ending the Barkley trade discussions because I don't see anybody giving up a 1st-rounder for Barkley.
I'd be shocked somebody.
Right. So no, I really don't think it's happening. Yeah. There's been some trolls on Twitter. There's been some other people that have been trying to push that. And I don't see it. I think that Shane wants him here. I do think that he's an asset. I do hope that he has a big year just like everybody else. But it is what it is. If the right offer comes up, the right offer comes up. So
I want a 1st or a 2nd rounder back for Saquon.
Oh, I get it. That's the one. When you cut out, that's the one I wanted. You know what that means? We're going to be playing against him in the 2020 season. Hell, I'm not worried about it. Like I said, That way McKinney gets about 3 interceptions when he knocks the ball up into the air.
Yeah, we played the Jaguars too this
Right.
year.
Right.
Yeah.
That was last year though, wasn't it, GOS? So he's on the contract this year for $3 million, I believe. So I don't even know if they're going to keep him. Or is he even on the team anymore? I don't know if he's
I can't
even
wait
on
to see Evan Ingram drop balls against.
Oh,
against him.
man. Yeah, somebody said that he's already fighting with the Jaguars up above. I don't know if I got to highlight that or not. So, yeah, now it's Buffalo for a late second at some point this year. That might happen. Not gonna lie. Is it better for the team if you get a late second for him? Is it better for the Giant? Oh, he was caught. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, man. Y'all killing me here. I'm trying to remember stuff. Jets with Revis. We Sauce at 7. Well, I brought that up. If we pass on him, what if he is the next Revis? But G Nation made a damn good point, G-Man. The Eagles and the Cowboys are going to get better on that defense. We've got to do something to fix that offense.
Yeah.
They
just got to sign Reddick.
Right. I mean, they got Reddick. They've got him listed at linebacker. So I get it with the secondary. I get it with what we need for the defense. And I understand what a defense does, gets their team off the field, our offense on the field, 3 and outs, those work in our favor. But, if we're not moving the football and we're going 3 and out, sooner or later, one of those defenses is going to be tired. So Ingram will do better with Doug Peterson, but he ran out his welcome here in New York. Now who's playing tight end? I don't know. But this was a question going into the season. That's what I said. What's going to happen to tight end? We need a running back. We need offensive line. We need a tight end. We need a linebacker. We still need a damn good edge rusher. We need so much. And Sterling Shepard is Jerry Reese's last pick. Sauce is his own corner. He'll play a lot of man. He's going to be perfect in press. Yeah. Chandler Jones went to the Raiders.
What? Chandler Jones.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I was like, wait a minute here. That would have been BJ Hill. Congratulations to BJ Hill. Congratulations. I'm so glad that man got his bag of money. I wish to God we could have given it to him, but
Evan Ingram, Giant was a Giant.
I started looking for that Chandler Jones thing. I really did. I was like, what? Ryan.
Once a Giant, always a Giant.
Well, there's a couple of guys that I can't really put in, but that's personal.
Oh, what? Put that slogan?
Yeah. There's a couple of guys that I just
Tiki Barber, I know.
Yeah, that's one, and freaking Dave Brown is another, and
Dave Brown.
Yeah. Kent Graham is another, and Evan Ingram is another, and there's a few. I still have hate for Plexico Burris because he took away a dynasty from us. He did, man. Shot himself right in the damn leg. Eli Apple, that's another one that's
Eli Apple.
Definitely getting a tight end in the draft. McBride or 2 or 3 or wait. Man, listen, there's 10 tight ends there that are going to be there in the 3rd round. We got 2 picks. So even if we go third and fourth round, tight end, I think that's what might happen. But it's also going to be, does a lineman fall? Does a corner fall? Does an edge rusher fall? A lot of it's going to depend on who's there at the time. And I think that it's going to be best player available. Ingram can always be a giant if he never plays here again. Okay. Yeah, he went to Jacksonville. He's now Jacksonville.
Yep. Yeah, we played their division too this year.
No problem, man. No problem. The Giants are not drafting 2 tight ends. Well, you never know. You never know. What's up, Coach?
Coach.
Stopping in.
Yeah, I love Charles
Love with Kolar. Yeah, I think Kolar's a damn good tight end. He's one of my favorites. Where they got him listed, I think they're under-evaluating him. I really do.
That's good. That's good
yes.
for us.
Yes, I do think Rodarius Williams can step up. I do believe in that. I mean, he showed some talent last year. They'll get one in the draft.
You think Aaron Robinson can be a number 1?
I know he's better at press than he is coverage. So I think in Wake Martindale's system, he's going to be a number 1. I'd like to believe. Oh man, we're doing good. Doing good. Just sitting here on a Monday evening here, Monday night, talking NFL tampering period before free agency actually opens Wednesday.
I don't
know. Him and Otten. Kolar got the best hands. You like McBride in the third. Yeah, he might not be there. McBride might go early.
Yeah, he might be there in the second. I don't know.
Mid-second. Robinson wasn't even a 1 at UCF. Here's another guy. He says he believes in Robinson. So, he might not have been a 1 at UCF, but if they're using him at what he does best, and a huge fan, can get exposed. Well, that's where we're going to rely on, him improving with his technique and the coaching staff to get him year 2. Right? Didn't we draft Robinson last year?
Yeah. We drafted him in the 3rd round.
Yeah, he was a guy we moved up for and got 3rd. I mean, he's had 1 year of NFL experience. I thought he played very well for what he got thrown into. And I like his upside. We're going to see whether or not he can be that 1. But for what he was forced into, man, I thought he did great. You take your now see, I'm not a big fan of Holmes. I know he doesn't. Yeah, I know he doesn't give up touchdowns and stuff like that, but there's just something about him where if he's playing press that he struggles. McBride, but he's a short yardage tight end. There's just something about Holmes where he's got that. He gets beat on the inside moves real easy, and then the middle of the field is open, and it was like people were always completing on him.
I remember that he didn't do too well in the training camp last year.
Right.
Yeah.
Per Adam Schefter, Washington defensive tackle Tim settled to Buffalo on a 2-year deal per source. He will be reunited with Tremaine Edmonds from their VT days.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, you had high hopes for Holmes too? Yeah, I did. They did. They're both smaller. Yes. Remember back when Dion was hyping up Darnay Holmes? Yes, I do. Yes. So, Salad, Bates, Mafia, Hoop.
Hey, I'll tell you what though, that Robert Foster dude, man, I think he could really, I think he could really be more dependable than Darius Slayton.
Like Jake Ferguson, great third down possession that can block something. Yes. 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 You know, that's the biggest thing I want is I want somebody that can block because that to me is the most important part of a tight end. I guess
Yeah.
that's from my Mark Bavaro days. I can't help it. I love to see a tight end smack the crap out of somebody. You know, when you got a tight end that's got 4 or 5 guys hanging off of him while he's running down the field, that to me is what that just gets me amped up for football. So, yeah, Delilah. Holmes can still be effective in certain sets. Yeah, I'm not saying that, I want to get rid of him, but no, Steven, nothing yet with Bradbury. Couple of corners have been signed. What's his name went to the Chargers?
Huh? JC Jackson?
Yeah, JC Jackson. He's getting like $84 freaking million. And then another guy went, but there's only a couple of corners that have been. Yeah, Jay. I think that's why people like Kelsey so much and Kittle.
Hey, have y'all heard of that other tight end that's coming out of Nebraska? Austin Allen.
Austin Allen?
Yeah, from Nebraska. You know the guy that I think Joe Shane and Brian David was looking at? The dude's like 6'8".
Oh, another tall guy. Yeah, we already got one tall dude. Good sign if we had. Yeah, well, that's the problem right now. Run blocking and catch target in the red zone. 2 things I value most. Also a tight end that's able to pressure defenses deep, running up the seam. Yes. Did we get a comp pick for what? Are you asking for Evan Ingram? We might get a 5th. It's going to depend, and that'll be next year.
I think we got a 5th.
Yeah. So we might get a 5th rounder next year for Evan Ingram being picked up. But that we'll see. Jeremy Shockey was one of my favorites too. Yeah, he just had attitude when he played on the field, but that kind of carried over, and him and Tiki Barber kind of came at Eli an awful lot. So that's why they went down the road. Then he went to the Saints and all right, that's the Washington. I'm looking for more news breaking.
Yeah, I just seen Buffalo getting that D tackle.
Right. Not seeing so much more. Shockey was awesome, man. Yeah, he was a pain. He was, but yeah, it wasn't uncontrollable. We're entertaining. Roy Williams, yes.
Man, oh Lord, man, Tate Gettleman, bro. I can't believe Nate Gettleman really had to put us in this position.
So let's see, what time is it? It's almost 6:30. I've been going for 3 hours here. I might rest my voice for a little bit here. Let this free agency settle down because most of what's happened is going to happen the first 6 hours. There might be a couple of more moves that are made, but
yeah, I don't think there's gonna be like any more big moves coming up.
Right. I mean, maybe tonight. I'm sure teams are gonna there's gonna be moves made, but yeah, my camera's still not working. My internet's messing up.
Yeah.
So, man, thanks everybody for being here. 36 in the chat. Man, you guys are the best. Like, subscribe, ring that bell. Make Big Blue Crew. We're always here bringing you stuff. Without you guys, we're nothing. And if you got a question or a comment, throw it down in the chat. We will get to you. But it's been an interesting day. Tonight at 9:30, I will be going live again, doing the Giants mockumentary, where we're going to discuss Pat's draft last night. There was some.
Are you going live again tonight?
Yeah, I'm going live again tonight. That's why I'm going to take off right now, rest my voice for a couple hours,
All right.
or else I'd keep going. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this with everybody. I've had a lot of fun with everybody today, and everybody joining in and hanging out, and the chats, the laughter. It was a really relaxing day. I'll have G Nation on. Pat will be joining us later. Taj will be here probably. Like I said, we're going to talk about that draft last night. That was interesting. I mean, Kyle Hamilton fallen to 19. Karloftis fallen to 44. There was some mind-blowing draft picks right there, man. Make sure y'all tune in tonight. It's going to be a fun event. And we're going to discuss more of, some of the realisms that we saw from last night. So is there anything else that we could see? There was a lot of picks there that boggled my mind. They really did, man. But y'all have a good night. Make sure y'all get a hot meal, get a drink, spend some time with your family. Go hug your wife, your better half, your spouse. Get hold of the kids. Go for a walk. Stretch your legs a little bit. Little exercise if it's nice out. If it's not, relax, sit down, and just chill, man. Listen to some nice peaceful music and enjoy the day, because nothing's a given. It could change at any minute. So, but until then, folks, man, again, thank you so much. Have a great day, and I hope to see you tonight. Peace out.